Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, August 24th. Today in Baton Rouge, and honestly for a good portion of southeast Louisiana, heat indexes up to 112 today. Coming up on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Ogeron joins the show at 7:30. Jack Marucci at 8:30 this morning, and we'll talk Saints with Nick Underhill at 9 a.m. We also have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in inside the YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag. We'll answer them at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube channel for new content every single day. Hour number one of Off the Bench starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in, OTB, T-Bob, Jake, Cade, and Danny hanging out with you today. Mario getting the morning off since he was on the call last night in the Dome for the New Orleans Saints.
That's all it takes to get a day off?
A game it was last night, as it appears the quarterback battle for the New Orleans Saints should be over. We'll see what Sean Payton has to say on that. We'll talk about it more throughout the show. But before we dive in and recap what was a very fun Monday Night Football for Saints fans, how is everyone feeling today?
I'm good.
Okay.
It is like official football season.
You can't say that. We've said that like probably 17 different times now. So this is another official start to football season?
Let me tell you something.
Preseason
Real
game.
quick. I'm 36 years old. I'm older than you. I can say whatever the hell I want to say. It's officially football season because camps are over in college. We have games this week.
Okay.
The Saints just had a preseason game, which we all know who the quarterback is now, not that we didn't know before.
Hell yeah.
So you sit over there in your little button-up shirt with your nice little haircut, and you just keep moving on to Cade over there.
Shout out my guy,
because
Troy
it was
Mercer.
my vibe, not yours.
That's fair. So then we got another first day of football coming up Saturday, which is going to be great. We got another first day of football on Monday because that's the first day of the LSU game week. We got another first day of football when the Saints begin. Are you going to count any first days of football when the boys have their first Little League games?
What do you think?
Hell yeah. A lot of first days.
September the 8th.
There we go.
We got 3 games.
Remember.
One on the 9th
of September. Cade, what's up? How you feeling?
Feeling good. For me this time of year, it's a mix of excitement. Our high school show is about to come back.
Hell yeah.
Football season in general, so I've always been a huge Saints fan growing up. And it's a balance between the excitement and the anxiety because there's a lot of work on my end.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work at the start. Once things get going,
it's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, you're kind of you're cruising and updating here and there, but the beginning provides a lot of stress and making sure I'm communicating things with the other departments in the building. So yeah.
Not unlike kind of the unknown potential of these football teams, right? Like, I know we've been very pessimistic on the Saints. It's hard to feel too pessimistic today. The potential of LSU, well, something we'll talk about a lot today because you can kind of see it going both ways in a lot of ways. So, yeah, that preseason anxiety pervades every facet, I think, of this job. Danny, I'm guessing you're feeling good as well. I don't think anybody's going to come on here and be like, you know what, I'm just really sad today. I'm not in a very good mood. Daniel, especially not, because your boy, Marquez, we need to figure that out officially, but your boy Callaway coming through in a big way last night, dude.
Yep, I try to tell you, Marquez Callaway is going to ball out this season. He's the number one option with Michael Thomas out, and James also looked really good.
Ooh.
Jameis 101 tried to tell us, and his prophecy's looking real.
It's true. John the Baptist. I thought I was John the Baptist. No, it's always been Jameis 101. We're just riding his coattails. All right, let's go ahead and dive into what is a admittedly lighter day of headlines.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys, for those who are born to grill. Visit bbqguys.com to learn more.
And New Orleans Saints news. Jabu wins the job. Get it? Jebby wins is his Twitter. Yeah. He wins the job. And something we'll discuss throughout today. But Jameis Winston last night, 9 of 10, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks, a near perfect 157 QB rating. Are you kidding me? Let's go. And look, the 2 big plays we'll break down in depth because they were spectacular. But it wasn't just that. It was third down conversions on the first and third touchdown drive. It was the fact that his only incompletion came on the 3rd and 16 where there were back-to-back false start penalties, and it ends up being a dump-off that was actually, the right decision. Don't force it, right? Everything you wanted to see out of Jameis, it is just now abundantly clear that he will be the starting quarterback of the 2021 New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, hopefully that decision is official soon.
Well, let's see what Sean Payton had to say in that regard.
Yeesh.
When we know what direction we're going, we'll let you guys know, and we're not going to, try to anticipate saying, hey, it's going to be midweek or next week. That's I think the best way for us to handle it, and it's kind of how we've always handled something like this. But I was pleased with not just the quarterbacks. I was pleased with how we played as a team for the most part.
Looks like the quarterback competition continues, boys.
No.
Thought we'd have an answer.
Oh, yeah.
It's too close to call. Keep the articles pumping out. No, obviously James won it. Other performers from last night that were incredible, like we said just a second ago. Marquez Callaway. Wow, dude. Okay, so that is a hype train. That as we approach the beginning of the real season, Jake, as we approach the first day of football, the Callaway hype train is not slowing down. In fact, it is rapidly gaining momentum. And now you have all these Saints beat reporters out here kind of saying, we tried to tell you. We've been at all these practices. I don't know. That's what he's been doing every day. And yet still, I remain a bit skeptical. But last night, 5 catches, 104 yards, 2 insane touchdown catches. And against the Jags ones, against their best corner, and Shaq Griffin, pretty strong showing.
It was. And again, we've been through this before where a receiver has dominated the preseason, then in the regular season goes missing. This does feel, what's your word you've been using? Scooch?
A scooch.
A scooch different.
There's an N in there. Scooch. There we go.
Scooch. Yeah, well, it's not about the weather, so I'm going to use it here.
No, there's not.
So
no, it's hot.
It does look a little different because Marcus Peters was the guy he got his catches on against the Ravens.
That's right.
Right? Griffin's who he gets them on against the Jaguars.
Those are number ones.
Yeah, no, and he's number 1.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But here's the thing.
Dude,
okay.
man.
After week 1, we'll see if teams start to treat him as the number 1 receiver. What do I mean by that? What type of coverages do they roll his way? Do they have bracket coverage because they're not worried about the number 2 receiver?
Yeah.
Now, when Michael Thomas comes back, and if he's playing with this juice, then you truly have a number 2 that you've been searching for all offseason long.
It's true.
So it's still going to be a positive. I'd love to see how he, plays as the number 1 when teams are going to roll their coverages towards him. Because right now he's playing at a pretty high level.
Yeah, and it's like even if he can do that, and then maybe he does get kind of stifled, even then at least he's freeing up a little bit of attention from Kamara, right? Because like right now, that's all defenses have to worry about is stopping Alvin Kamara. You just need one other threat on the field, and Callaway is positioning himself to be that threat. So the Saints end up winning 23-21. So actually, Jags end up covering rough for Mario. He was looking for a 4-0 weekend. But Adam Troutman, and maybe we'll see what the news ends up being, but Adam Troutman leaves the game on the injury cart. X-rays were negative, so that's good news. He will have an MRI on his foot today. Remains to be seen what is going on there. In LSU football news, congratulations to Cade York and Derek Stingley Jr. as they were both named AP first-team All-Americans. By season's end, Stingley could join Tommy Casanova as the only players in LSU history to be All-Americans 3 times in their career. While Cade York, well, you know about Cade York, 5th all-time in field goals, 1st in 50-yarders with 10 in his career, 1st for 50-yarders in a season with 6, one of the greatest kickers to ever do it, and still has 2 years left, unless, kicker leaving early. I guess
if there ever was one,
it
would probably be him. So in my notes from the scrimmage the other day, I had Cade York has a bionic leg, and I didn't touch on that. He was on the bench, kind of puts his helmet on, kind of pulls a little half stretch, trots out there no big deal, and goes, lines up, and he kicks a field goal. And I'm sitting there thinking, that looks kind of far, and I start counting it up. It's 54 yards.
Yeah,
Cade has a very strong leg.
He's also
unbelievable.
His confidence levels.
But it was literally no big deal. Like he just rolled out there, lines up, and it's 54 yards.
Yeah, his confidence levels just from talking to him during the scrimmage and everything. Yes, he seems supremely at ease, right? Like someone who, and that's what happens when you get older in this game. But it's especially what you want to see out of your kicker in a year where there is so much on the line, and in a year where, all the analytics are saying the first 5 games could be decided by one score. That becomes a weapon that is quite literally the difference between you accomplishing your goals and you falling woefully short of them.
Yeah, it's a pretty good room. They got him and, of course, Avery Atkins as well, who's handled kickoffs and is in the battle for punter as well.
Oh, is he? Mm-hmm. In LSU baseball news, day 1 of fall camp was yesterday. How about it? So, Jake, day 1, another day 1, this time of the Jay Johnson variety. Day 1 of on the field and in the weight room work for Jay Johnson, the LSU baseball team. Something I want to explore maybe a bit later on in the show. I'm going to give Dick Conn a little credit here. He was thinking about it, but that is kind of the potential of this LSU year sports cycle, right? Because Jay Johnson's definitely very exciting. Will Wade and what he's doing is tremendously exciting. Football has potential. We'll talk about that, but you look at soccer off to a hot start. Softball, is going to be fantastic. Gymnastics is always fantastic. It's looking pretty good from where we're sitting right here.
Beach volleyball.
I mean, even on the baseball field, you got Ray Zellman, who's like throwing 97, like tearing up Cape Cod. So, yeah, it's an exciting time for sure, but I do feel that football kind of has to set the tone.
This is a special time of the year for the guy who follows us here, sits in your seat, Hunt Palmer.
Yeah.
It's football season, but there's also fall baseball. What does he do? I think he goes and gets an icy, he says.
Yeah,
and sits and watches fall baseball.
Okay, so is Scooch a fall back if we're calling this fall baseball?
That's up to you.
I mean, Scooch. I don't know, dude.
I'm going to find a different way to use it because I feel like I'm lying if I use it in your way.
Here's the deal. We need to get to the biggest item on today's headlines. So last night, I got very excited because I started thinking that the New Orleans Saints could maybe win the NFC South, right? Bucks return everybody, all that. I don't give a damn. Well, it's like Street Fighter. A new challenger has entered the arena here. Somebody just pressed start on the Player 2 button. The Atlanta Falcons have added Josh Rosen to the roster. Former first-round quarterback Josh Rosen now on the Atlanta Falcons.
What team is this? 4?
What?
This 4th or 5th team.
Yeah, he's so good that he can't be
49ers,
contained.
Dolphins, Bucks.
Well, he got drafted Cardinals first.
Cardinals, Falcons. I don't know. It's a lot.
5th time's the charm.
I don't know if I might have said the same team twice.
Look, all I'm saying is, with my Mitch Trubisky takes, my Jameis takes, they've been spot on. Watch out for Josh Rosen. Heard it here first. This is some unclaimed take real estate that I just set up camp in. It's a barren land. Don't know if it can grow any crops, but that's fine. It is my land now. All right, when we get back, let's talk about last night's preseason game. Who the starting quarterback is, obviously. More of like what Jameis did last night. The other top performers. How do you feel about the Saints team? Let us know in the chat. We'll get to it next here on Off the Bench.
If you were born to grill, you have to go to Barbecue Guys for all your grilling and outdoor living needs. With the largest selection of top grills and outdoor products and best-in-class customer service, Barbecue Guys has it all. Visit bbqguys.com. That's bbqguys.com. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to GEAUXroof.com. That's GoRoof.com. 927-8300 is the number. 927-8300. When you work at Go Roof, you're going to find out that you get a beautiful new roof every shingle time. Shingle. You can start that process by calling 927-8300. They answer the phone, hit them with the roofs up. And then once you've moved past the puns, you can get into getting the job done. Okay? They're going to give you a free professional estimate. Come out there. Let you know exactly where you stand. And so then you make a fully informed decision about what to do next. Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe no work needs to be done. Okay, you have peace of mind. You got mental clarity for free. If some work does need to be done, okay, you move ahead with that work. Of course, they're licensed, bonded, and insured. And then after the work is done, they offer a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. So, what are you waiting for? Any roofing needs that you have, go with the best. Go with Go Roof. GEAUXroof.com. That's Go Roof. 927-8300.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit garciadidmyroof.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Coming up on a Tuesday edition of Early Line, we recap the Saints preseason game against the Jaguars, look at some lines for Week 0 in college football, and a whole lot more. Join us for Early Line, 2 to 3 p.m., right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. T-Bob, Jake. I almost said Mario, Danny, Cade, and Danny. Hanging out with you today. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Hit the like button if you think Jameis Winston should be the starting quarterback. Okay. Yeah, and I want to see what y'all think about James.
Yeah, if you don't hit it, that means you don't think he's the starter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
exactly. If not hitting it is an implicit vote for Taysom as the starter. And look, Taysom has a lot of value for this team. It was probably a rough day for Taysom yesterday. Birthday and all that. Not exactly how you would want your birthday to go down, but Taysom still has a huge role to play, okay? It's just that he should not be your starting quarterback. And let's start.
He didn't have an awful day. He didn't have a great day, and Jameis just had a really good day.
He kind of, I think that Taysom, he didn't have an awful, well, I guess he was allowed the opportunity to not make it an awful day, right? It was an awful beginning. Yeah. I thought he was completely out of sorts, especially, I mean, he had the feeling of a prize fighter that had gotten rocked with a couple of big punches and was like a little wobbly on his feet, like a little starstruck. And it's a weird feeling, man. It's a weird feeling. I know a lot of people out there who have played team sports have probably felt this. When you're in a playing time competition and something good happens for your team, but that good thing is directly because of the person that you are in competition with, and you just feel at odds, right? Because you want to feel happy for the team. Okay, that was a good play. But then at the same time, like Taysom took that field essentially knowing it was done. I mean, right? Or at least feeling like he would have to be perfect. And you kind of got that sense, I thought, when he was out there at the beginning last night. He looked out of sorts. The ball wasn't coming out. The rush was getting to him. And now he fell into a flow later on. But definitely felt like the Jameis performance kind of gave him a couple haymakers early on. But again, I mean, it is what it is.
And I
Happy
agree
birthday,
with you.
You still have a big role to play.
Yeah, Taysom Hill has a role.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. He's going to be a backup quarterback on this team. He's also going to be your H-back that has his own set of plays, and because Jameis can't do the things that he can do in that role, obviously, so there's going to be a place for him there. And we've seen in playoff games, it be not only like a small package. I mean, he was featured in that playoff game. He might have been the best offensive player in that playoff game. So
by the end of the year, the 3rd and 3, 4th and 3, like 3rd and 3 or under, 4th 3 and under, Taysom was a consistently successful weapon.
And if we're rounding out that room, Trevor Siemian got the role last night. Ian Book did not. He got it in the first game. I did see some chatter last night. Maybe teams are calling the Saints about Book, like potentially trying to grab him.
Yeah, now the Saints saying, did they say this officially? They must have, because everybody keeps saying that they're going to keep all 4 quarterbacks. Because obviously Taysom, while he is a quarterback maybe in a technical, we're filling out a roster sense, that's more like keeping a tight end, right? So, yeah.
They're pretty light.
And I get it. I mean, the Book's had a really good camp, right? That's what we've heard. He's been a gamer during camp, and he played pretty well in that first preseason game as well. So, like, yeah, don't let young potential out of the door, right? That's how Taysom Hill ended up in New Orleans in the first place, was him hitting the waiver wire over there in Green Bay. But let's talk about Jameis real quick, Jake, because Jameis is obviously QB1, okay? If you look at the whole of camp, he has better camp stats to begin with, even if it's not massively better. It is something like 6 touchdowns and 3 or 4 picks to like 2 touchdowns and 7 picks for Taysom Hill. When he was with the twos in preseason game 1, he did markedly better than Taysom Hill did when he was with the twos yesterday. In fact, he basically performed just as well as Hill in game 1, despite going with the twos. When he was with the ones, well, you saw last night, he was perfect. So he has better camp stats. He played better in the preseason games, and he has more natural talent. He also was kind of the leader in the clubhouse from a player standpoint of who they want to be the quarterback. Remember Cam Jordan earlier this season basically saying that, it's Jameis, right? Like holding it like it was a self-evident truth. So the battle's over. I want to break down, though, real quick, because this is where it's not just that he won this competition by default. This is where you can start to become excited about Jameis Winston, is look at not just the throw itself on those 2 touchdowns to Callaway last night, which they were great, but look at the decision-making and the recognition that went into the throws, right? So on the first one, as soon as he saw, recognizing the coverage, as soon as he saw the deep safety take a kind of false step and step down to the Deontay Harris crossing route, he immediately processed it. He knew where he was going. He was going to give Marquez Callaway a chance. That's all it takes. It's one false step out of position. He lays it in perfectly. We'll get to Callaway. His concentration and catches were incredible. Bam, touchdown. The second time, Jameis gets up to the line. What does he see? Cover 0, no deep safety. What does he do? Changes Callaway to hot route. Give him just a straight, what would you call it? Fly, go? I don't know. Fade. There you go. Just straight up. And so he changes the route of the line. He knows he's going to have to deal with a free rusher off of the edge because of the protection. He gets snapped. He kind of fades a little bit to give just a scooch of extra time. Yes. And then he drops another absolute dime in the bucket, followed by another absolute gem of Callaway. So you're seeing recognition, you're seeing incredible accuracy and ball placement, you're seeing trust in your number one, and beyond coverage recognition, Jake, matchup recognition.
Yeah.
And what trusting Callaway to see him against Shaq Griffith, a number one CB that Jacksonville paid big money. What trusting Callaway to be like, oh, I got him one-on-one, let's go. Like, I'm attacking that man. He went straight at him.
And you can tell that relationship has really started to gain some trust between each other, and it started early. Remember, you talked about Jameis having those guys out, throwing with those guys in the offseason, right? Having that rapport with them to be able to do things like that. And that's what it takes to be a dynamic duo, to have that faith in each other, right? Faith in the fact that I know the coverage, I'm changing your route. Did you pick up which route I gave you? And are you going to run the route the right way so I can just escape a little bit, buy myself some time, and throw it up to you? Right? There's a lot of trust in that. It seems so elementary, but we've all seen that go wrong, right? Quarterback gives you something, you thought he gave you this, you run the wrong route, he gets hit right in the chest because there's a free edge rusher coming off the edge with nobody in sight.
And so really, I mean, how could you not? And look, I get it's a preseason game, and sure, if you want to be more measured in your excitement, that is all well and good. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're wrong, but it was nice. Jameis Winston last night gave you exactly what this show and many others throughout the Who Dat Nation have been asking for, Jake, which was an emphatic statement, right? That's what you had been wanting all camp. You've been saying, right? I want somebody to come out and basically assert themselves and say, no, I am the starting quarterback, and that's what you saw out of Jameis last night.
It's done. Now I'm looking at other positions.
Yes.
Like to see like how that's going to play out, because the quarterback, to me, that's put to rest.
What it's like now, and I want to go to break so we can get to Coach O and give him a lot of time next, but there still are those other positions to talk about, right? Like Latavius Murray feels like his role's in a bit of hot water.
Yeah.
Right now, if you look at the couple of preseason games. Is Ken Crawley, is he in as the number 2 cornerback? He's had a really good camp, had a really good night last night. Paulson and Debo played pretty well. What role does little Jordan Humphrey have to play? All this and more. But like Jake said, the biggest question is now answered. Jameis Winston, we're riding with Jameis, right? Ride or die this year with Jabu, and I'm excited. All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's talk to, as we do every Tuesday at 7:30, the head LSU football coach, Coach Ed Ogeron. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to advantaclean.com, ADVANTA clean.com. That's probably confusing to spell out. It's like Advantage, okay? Advantaclean.com. Fire damage, water damage, mold damage. You get the advantage when you work with AdvantaClean. Because it's one call to solve it all. You call 369-5228. Because these problems can feel very, very overwhelming, right? Like, where do I start? What do I need to do? All you need to worry about is calling AdvantaClean. Because they come out, they fix it, they document it, and they even deal with the insurance company for you, okay? So you don't do anything. 369-5228.
And right now is the perfect time if you want to have your business, your home sanitized. They can come out and do that. We always talk about the business part of it. Right? More people in Baton Rouge during the fall. Football season's coming. Going to be more people in town. Go ahead and get your business sanitized. They can come out and they can do that. They can come out, also give you a quote to what that's going to take. So many different services you can find at AdvantaClean.com. The full list is there. Also, pick up the phone today. Call them at 225-369-5228.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We're recapping Saints Jags Monday Night Football from the Dome. Matt Flynn joins us. Hopefully you will as well. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB here on 104.5 ESPN. T-Bob J. Cade. Danny hanging out with you right now. It is Tuesday at 7:30, which it means it is time to talk to the head man of LSU football, college football week 0. Coach O, what's up, man? How you doing today?
Good morning, guys. Competition Tuesday, big day in Baton Rouge.
So let's start there then. How does it work now? Because camp is over, more into game prep now, getting ready for UCLA, maybe start to get those bodies ready a bit. Okay, my question is twofold. Start here. Do you start to take a step back in terms of the physicality of practices over the next couple of weeks leading up to Saturday?
Yeah, but not today.
Okay. So camp is still kind of on a little bit today.
Well, but really Tuesday a big work day during the week. We are going into a game plan for LSU. Yesterday was telling the truth. Today, competition Tuesday during the week is our big competition day, our big physical day. And then tomorrow we'll start backing off. But yes, we are going to back off with only one time a week. And then Saturday we have a helmets, and our guys will be fresh, ready to go.
And then, so Coach, what about the actual structure of practice now? So still going hard. Is it still 1v1s and 2v2s, or are you at a point now where you start to move into more scout team and more UCLA prep?
Yeah, more UCLA prep. Still working. We'll still go 9-on-7. We'll still go 1-on-1s. We still have some competition drills, 1 versus 1, but we're starting to prepare for UCLA. So one offense versus 2 defense, 2 defense. There's going to be UCLA defense, and 2 offense versus 1 defense. 2 offense will be UCLA offense.
Hey, Coach, you do have a unique situation that UCLA is actually playing a week 0 game. Obviously, LSU doesn't. So you're going to have some game film to really break down. How are y'all kind of viewing that game? Going to watch it maybe as a staff and start to break it down over the weekend?
No question. Yeah. I think at 2:30 we're going to have a mock scrimmage. We'll be done. So we have to watch the game. Obviously, as you guys know, we get the film right away. I like to watch the TV copy. I think guys are going to watch it on their own, go home with their families, but I'm definitely going to watch that game.
Talking to head coach Ed Orgeron here on Off the Bench. Coach, what about the biggest questions now? So you're on the other side of camp. What are some of the questions that you still feel need to be answered about your team?
Yeah, I think there's continuity. Keep on putting stuff together. You know, we have everything in 2 minutes, 4 minutes, goal line, short yardage. I think just shoring up all those things, getting everything right, so that we don't beat ourselves as far as mental errors, as far as penalties, as far as misassignments. I think our defense has done a good job so far in camp of eliminating the mental error and the deep ball. We're not perfect yet, but we made a big improvement in that area. Our pass rush has been phenomenal during camp. Obviously, on the other side, shoring up our protection. Still learning what we can and we can't do with our offensive players, who's the featured players. I think that's going to come as the season goes on.
Coach, I want to ask you about running back Josh Williams. At the scrimmage on Saturday, I thought he had a really nice day. He had a couple of big runs, also was always in the right spot when he was supposed to be there. What can you see his role being there in the backfield for the Tigers?
You know, Kevin really likes him. Yesterday, you know, Tyron was out. John was practicing. Josh was practicing first team. He's good in protection. He can run the football. But I'm telling you what, those two running backs, as you guys know, Monty and Corey are coming. Yep. They're going to be hard to keep off the field.
Yeah, and there's a few guys that have kind of tried to assert themselves like that during this camp period. Coach, when you look at this defensive line, where do you think it ranks among the defensive lines that you have coached at LSU, either as position or head coach?
Yeah, I think this one that probably has a chance to best. You know, when I came to LSU has some great defensive line, and we've had some good ones. I don't think we've had a number one draft pick since I've been here. I think that we have some pretty good ball players. Ali Gay and Andre Anthony are really having a good camp. B.J. Ojolari is a heck of a player. I think those three guys are standing out to be the right close.
Coach, what about the status of Derek Stingley Jr. and Eli Ricks? What do their next couple of weeks look like?
Yeah, I think Eli, he's in and out. He's going to be fine. He had some soreness in an area. He couldn't practice to be back today. Derek, we've been pretty cautious with, making sure that he's okay. I think that he should be back game week and should be full speed.
Coach, another thing from the scrimmage that is a takeaway, and you can't deny it if you're out there, was the receiver play and the young receivers. You've talked about them, Coach, ever since they got on campus. Before they even put a pad on, you talked about how special this group was. They just continue to grow, Coach. Every single time you go out there, they look more and more mature, and I got to assume there's going to be a lot of receivers that are on the field this year. I mean, you got 7, 8, 9 guys that could play.
Yeah, they're part of now. Before they were freshmen, you guys been freshmen. Now they're part of the team. But our guys, it's pretty cool. We were out watching tape. Well, I'm watching tape with the defensive linemen. And this is about the second week of camp. And not many times the defensive lineman is going to notice a wide receiver,
Right.
And some of the older guys, they say, Coach, who's that number 8? Those defensive linemen knew that number 8 was a good player. Malik Davis is going to be a phenomenal player for us. So is Chris Hilton. So is Brian Thomas. Those guys are phenomenal football players. Deion Smith. And then you look at Jack Best. I mean, those guys are some good players.
Coach, you talked about wanting to shore up the offensive line a bit here on the other side of camp. When you look at maybe where some of the struggles have come in, and it's a classic camp thing where it's like, is it a really good D-line? Like, what's the case? But do you think the struggles, do you see them as more mental or more physical in terms of what needs to be fixed?
Well, hey, T-Bob, first of all, I know you know this, okay? There's always more sacks in the scrimmage than there are in the game.
100%. 100%. Every time.
But anyway, and, the left tackle, Cam's coming along. Obviously, that position has got to shore up. Ed's going to be fine. Ben's going to be fine. We got Jason back here with the injury, Austin. But we won a lot of games with those guys.
Yeah.
And I feel good about those guys. And backing those guys up. Anthony Bradford's going to come along. Charles is coming along. We have to find some backups in case those guys get hurt.
Coach, it's kind of funny. We spent so much time over the summer and over the offseason talking about, potential quarterback battle. Then the unfortunate Miles news happens. And so Max kind of steps into that role. On the other side of camp, how do you feel about how the quarterback room performed, both Max Johnson and Garrett Nussmeier?
Phenomenal. We got two great quarterbacks, two great young quarterbacks. Max is our starting quarterback. He's doing well, as well as we expected him to be. Garrett is a phenomenal football player, makes plays all over the field, is a tremendous competitor. Probably one of the most improved players on our team from the spring. Just taking care of the football. He's a winner. Those guys have intangibles, great quarterbacks that you want.
Coach, you saw a little bit of fire from Max this weekend, right? I mean, got fired up when he scored a touchdown, was letting the defense kind of know a couple of times as well. I know you like seeing some of that fire and passion from your quarterback, and I saw him break down the team in a practice, and he was fired up, ready to go, going toe-to-toe with Ali Gay, someone who's a large human, but he's right there in the fire.
Well, the last time we had a quarterback get in a fight in the stadium in a scrimmage, his name was Joe Burrow. He's a pretty good person. I like to get the quarterback with some fire, but I don't want to see him break his hand too much. I promise you that.
Coach, what is in terms of UCLA preparation? So obviously you're going to watch the game Saturday. You're going to pour over that film and you're going to break that down. What work has already, what foundations already been laid in preparing for UCLA? What has the shadow staff put together?
Oh yeah, we've already made a preliminary game plan. It's been a week with UCLA all season, so we know that you got to go back. Now it gets closer to time, the deadline, figure the process. Now everything's a little bit more intense, so you go back with a fine-tooth comb. So we're going to redo it all over again. But we will have a good idea of who they are and what they've done, the type of plays they've run. Obviously, there's going to be some change with some personnel and stuff like that. But we have the basics of our game plan already in.
Coach, right before you came on, we were actually talking about special teams, and we were talking about Cade York, and I was talking about it at the scrimmage. He's just kind of sitting over there, doesn't have his helmet on, picks his helmet on, kind of jogs out to the middle of the field, and then he nails a field goal. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm starting to count, how far was that? That's 54 yards, and it looked like just another day at the office. I mean, what's it like to be able to have a weapon like that, knowing if you get close, if you get in the red area, it's almost automatic points?
Beautiful confidence. I mean, first year we were in that area, and Coach Mike shored that area up. And ever since I haven't had to worry about him at all. Cade York, any Saturday morning at LSU, I don't care what it is, and Cade York is working. He is a tremendous competitor. He has a routine that he won't get off that routine. He's a hard worker. He's a very mature kid, very, very motivated to be the best.
Coach Ed Ogeron, getting ready for UCLA. Next time we talk to you, it will be game week. Let's go. Coach, enjoy Competition Tuesday, and thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, T-Bob, you got family out there.
What's that?
You tell your family out there in California, you better see them in that stadium.
Oh, we're going to be there. Don't worry, we're rolling deep. The grandkids are coming. Everybody's coming, Coach. We'll see you out there in the Rose Bowl.
All right, man. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. Go Tigers.
We both are rolling deep in that game.
We are. I also, though, I hate an awkward interaction with a phone breakup where somebody tries to crack a joke and then you want to laugh at it, you want to throw back the joke, make it feel good, but then it's I couldn't really understand it. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Don't
but
like it.
again, you're not gonna tell, hey, Coach, we'll call you right back. It's not one of those guests. It's not one of those guests hey,
because
Coach,
there was
bad
no
phone
real
connection.
because it was right on the edge of being unusable, but then also there was no real other options, so it just is what it is.
Hunt must be over there doing an interview, and he borrowed Hunt's phone.
When we get back here on OTB, let's wrap up hour number 1. We still got a lot to get to on today's show. Keep it locked. Off the bench.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. Look for all your plumbing needs. Central Plumbing's got you. It's not just residential either, commercially, right? You got a business like Jake, or you run an office building or something, you need your plumbing need met, they have the insurance paperwork and personnel to do so. But if you're like me and you just need him to come out to your home for, I don't know, a drain that won't drain, some water squirting out of a pipe somewhere random, a toilet's not working, like anything, you call Central Plumbing. They know how to solve it because they've been at it for nearly 50 years, y'all. So call 925-8552 or go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, that all sounds awful.
What's that?
All the things you just said. And you know what else is bad about it? You can't really do anything about it.
It's not great.
Like you can be a Mr. Fix-It, but plumbing usually is where the line kind of stops. So let Central Plumbing come in and fix that problem that you have. T mentioned it. It's 24/7 emergency service. Any time of night, call them 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person. Connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Join me, Jimmy Ott, and Mike Delicato for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee, just off of Nicholson. Game Time, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back. OTB, wrapping up hour number one. Not too much stood out to me from that conversation. I don't feel, unfortunately, that we learned a ton there. Maybe, okay, so this is a little interesting. What do you think about the Rick Stingley answer? That sounded a bit like, okay, Rick's, he'll be back this week, we think. He's been kind of in and around, but they think he's going to play. But am I crazy, or did the Stingley timeline get pushed back another week? Or am I misunderstanding the original quote from last week where maybe it was always going to be game week?
Yeah.
But that did sound like he should probably be back next week, though. It did not sound like a definite, which I thought was a bit surprising. There's a little vague nature to it still.
Yeah. Ricks has definitely practiced way more, obviously, than Sting. We hadn't seen Sting, and Ricks has been in and out of the lineup. Actually, saw him yesterday walking into the building, so there's nothing like that to worry about. Like, I've seen Sting; he has been in the building, been in the meeting rooms. So is Elias Ricks. So just wonder, where their health is at. Obviously, like Coach O mentioned with Stingley, yes, absolutely, you want him in this first game. He's one of the top 5 players in college football.
Yeah,
but also you do have to be cautious. The last thing you want is for someone to go out there and not be ready for the latter part of the season because you tried to rush him back too soon.
You're not wrong, but I'd be lying if I say that it doesn't give you some uncomfortable echoes of the same logic that we espoused last year at this time, where it was one of those deals, and I guess it was actually game day when we figured out that he wasn't going to play. But I remember on the pregame show being like, it's bad, but it's not the biggest deal.
I'm not saying it's not a big deal.
You want him to be
I'm just trying to tell you what.
Well, no, I know, but it's like it was kind of this. We kind of said the same thing. We're like, well, but you want to be available later on when it starts to matter more, and you can't push it in. I just, in a game where UCLA's offense is the biggest threat to them winning the game. Look, we're going to break down the top 100 players in college football according to ESPN. Who's number 2 on that list? Derek Stingley Jr.
That's what I'm saying. This is a big year for him.
Yeah.
This is a big year for him. He gets to go out there and prove himself. And if he goes out there and has the type of season that he's capable of, he will be a top 5 NFL draft choice. There's no question about it. But you got to go out there and you got to get on the field. So when he's healthy, you want to see him out there. And I understand some of the worry. I understand, okay, well, where is he at? Because we've kind of seen this play out before, but he's been in the building. He's been in the meetings. Now you just got to figure out a way to get out there and get on the field.
Yeah.
It's a big year for him. I mean, if he goes out there and plays well, it guarantees him life-changing money. For the rest of his life, he will be set up.
Yeah, I mean, guaranteed top 5 pick, basically. If he goes, it does it.
But, if you don't get on the field, who knows where that ends up. So
just something to keep an eye on, as I was hoping. I went into that question, I wasn't trying to lay any traps or anything. Obviously, I think y'all know that we're not trying to do that. I was just genuinely curious. I expected to hear that he'd be back this week. Now we will have Derek Stingley Sr. coming on as well pretty soon here. I gotta remember the exact date and time. Anyway, so. Any other takeaways?
Mondays?
We can talk about the break. Any other takeaways from what O had to say?
He loves the young running backs, man. Those guys are going to play. They will be out there with the ones in close games, blowouts, in every situation. They're going to be out there. He trusts them. He can count on them just by hearing the tone in his voice. And I understand why. They have some real juice to them. They're different backs. They have picked up the offense quickly. They're both guys that you can tell everyone trusts already. So that's something that stood out to me, because you're kind of waiting on 3 and 4 to figure out, are they going to be able to be on the field? Are you going to be able to count on them? And those young running backs, we've seen this play out before, man. You miss a day, here they come. You miss a day, here they come. And each and every day, they get closer to being in that huddle with Max and the ones.
So if you caught that awkwardness in my voice from just about 30 seconds ago discussing when Coach Sting's coming on again, it is because in my brain, I was remembering that 2 nights ago we literally talked about it, and he's coming on in 5 minutes. So that is now confirmed. So if we want the answer to our questions, it is right on the other side of this break, as we got our guy Derek Stingley Sr. coming on to answer. Exactly. I mean, it's perfect, dude.
That's good. It's good that you have a bad
how
memory.
about your boy here? Just perfectly lining things up. I mean,
you did it on purpose. You knew that it was going to play out like this.
Yeah,
A little Doctor Strange thinking.
That's by the way.
Yeah, I was waiting. It's 55 minutes into the show.
No Way Home trailer last night. Choo, boy. The multiverse is here. It was pretty cool. I don't want to spoil anything. You can watch the trailer. What do you? Oh, they just had Stingley on Get Up.
No, they just had Jameis Winston and it said canonized.
Is it a?
I mean, I don't know. The Saints quarterback, your dad's name is the Cajun Cannon.
But it also does play with the Catholic Church with saints and being canonized.
I know, but I was I'm just trying to show you, and you don't pick up on hand signals.
Cade, what's this thing you're doing with your hand?
He doesn't know. Trust me.
It's some numbers.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
He was counting down to the end of the hour. Oh, I get it now. Go to Ochsner.org today. Ochsner.org for all of your orthopedic healthcare needs. Look, they also got urgent cares peppered throughout the city. So if you ever just, you got a sore throat, anything like that, you need an immediate response, you go into an Ochsner urgent care. You will be taken great care of. Look, the services go on. What about Ochsner performance training, right? You want to get bigger, stronger, and faster. You want to train. I mean, these are weight rooms and systems that literal pros and major college athletes train as well. So if you're in high school, you're trying to maximize, junior high, ancient athletes, or in college playing sports yourself, Ochsner performance training is a great deal that can guarantee you will get bigger, stronger, faster while engaging in the latest and greatest training techniques. But then what about, like I said, any of your orthopedic needs? They're the official medical provider of the LHSAA. They got colleges throughout the state. They got the pro teams as well. Every single level of competition, everyone trusts Ochsner. So should you. The facility.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Ochsner, and we will not slow down. Ochsner Health, innovating healthcare.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, August 24th. Today, that heat index advisory in effect. Temperatures or portions of South Louisiana could see a heat index of up to 112. In case you missed it, hour number 1 of Off the Bench is on demand at 1045ESPN.com or through the free ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app. You can catch our interview with Coach Ed Ogeron. Coming up next here on Off the Bench, Derek Stingley Sr., Jack Marucci, and in the 9 o'clock hour, Nick Underhill will recap Saints and Jags and a whole lot more with the black and gold. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube channel for new content every single day. Number 2 of Off the Bench starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's up? T-Bob, Jake, K, Danny hanging out with you today. Right now, we got a great hour coming up for you. We still got OTB Mailbag coming up next. If you want to ask us anything football, not football, any sports, anything about life, we'll answer all of your most pressing questions next during OTB Mailbag. We got Jack Marucci coming up at 8:30, but right now, let's go to the phone lines where we got Coach Derek Stingley Sr. back for another year, checking in on Tuesdays. Coach Sting, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for waking up with us.
Yo, what's good, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing well. Okay, so how about this? Let's just start with what we were just talking about. So we asked, I think I got my wires crossed somewhere. I thought Lil Sting was returning to practice this week. We asked about the kind of status. He seemed to see maybe something more along game week. What is the current status of Lil Sting?
Yeah, well, he's most definitely going to play against UCLA. I can tell you that.
Okay.
I think they are holding him out probably for the rest of this week as well to get him ready for true game week. Actually, if this was the season, if it was like, do or die type situation, he'll practice and play like right now. But they do want to take it slow with him, just to make sure that the bruising that he has is not so painful on him. So, but he's good. He's going to be good to go. It's nothing serious, and everybody needs to just calm down. He will be out there playing this year.
I'm cool.
Fully ready to go.
I'm cool, man. Nobody's freaking out. Don't worry. No, look, really, that is great news to hear, Coach. And look, you're someone who I know that you work with a lot of these guys in the secondary. I know that you go to a lot of these practices and get to check it out. How do you feel that the kind of rest of that secondary has developed through this camp period, maybe especially at that safety position?
Well, the one thing is we have more depth now. We have depth. We have more athleticism. You have guys just with this beeline to the ball, to the tackler. I mean, those guys are aggressive as all outdoors. And, Jay is just, I think he's going to be another special one. I'm glad that, they found a spot for him to put him out there so that he can basically control the secondary on that side of the ball from the safety standpoint. And you got Major, then you got Sage, you got Matthew, you got Todd, all those guys, and also Jordan. So you got so much depth now, and now you can actually play whatever defense that the coordinators want to run. We can be more exotic. We can do some different things. We can show different looks, and that's what you want. You want to be able to mix things up. You don't want to just be okay. This is where we're in. This is how we're lining up, and this is what we do. And some teams, naturally they can figure that out quick, and they'll expose everyone. But now, for what we can do now with Coach Jones, I mean, I like what I see from the defense. I like what we're doing up front. When Derek and Eli, when both of them guys are healthy, it's going to be tough to throw in the corners. And then those safeties, they got to be active. And I think that we got a good group back there to help us out.
And you touched on my next question, Coach, which is obviously the coordinator himself, Coach Durante Jones. I know the early returns, during like spring and summer and really the relationship building were very strong. Now that you've gotten deeper into this, the boys have gotten a full camp, which it even seemed to perform very well for the most part. Where do you think? How do you feel about Coach Jones? How do these players feel about Coach Jones?
Well, the good thing is, like what you said, he's had all this time with those players from the spring to even recruiting some of the incoming freshmen to now, having his guys and working with them to understand what they're good at and what they kind of need a little help at, to where now he can, instead of saying this is my defense and run it, now he can take whatever talents that they have and make it work for his defense. And all the players are buying into that. Like, he coached with some real good energy, but he's also a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You can see him after every play or when he can get the opportunity to talk to the player, to talk them through whatever situation that he may need to coach them on. So the communications is there. The understanding is there. I see players going up to him, and asking him certain things, opposed to, coach cussing and fussing and the player walking away mad. I didn't know. Now it's not like that. It's like they're all on this one big, huge page is what they need to be on from day one. And the good thing about it is, from what I know, is that they never moved on to another defense without everyone knowing what was going on with the defense that they were working at. So that was a good thing. So, with that being said, now you got everybody on the same page. We shouldn't have that many blown covers, not big plays and things like that, to where, it works and it's coordinated. It's a coordinated effort for real.
Yeah, I think I only saw one in the scrimmage on Saturday. Looked much cleaner. Coach, I do want to ask you about another player, and that's Major Burns. And initially he commits to LSU, and then he ends up at Georgia, and he comes back to LSU as a transfer, and he lets you know that he's out there. I love the juice that he has. He's got that swagger that DBU always has, and he's out there talking, but he's backing it up with his play. Can you see him having a big role in the secondary this year?
I can. The one thing about Major is that he's gonna outwork everybody. He's not gonna take a play off. He's not gonna take a practice play off. He's not gonna take a rep off. He's not gonna take a condition drill off. He's just one of those guys to where he brings this, I'm here and I'm gonna let you know I'm here. That kind of thing. He wants to lead everything. And yeah, he's a Baton Rouge kid, so played over in Memorial Stadium, with the Breck League. So he comes from that background of, hey man, everybody, you got to be the biggest dog on the field, and I'll let you know that I'm the biggest dog, and that's just him. But he's also a good kid, all the above. So you want somebody like that who he's not afraid to get in someone's face, but at the same time, he's going to do all he can to back it up. But he's going to work. He's going to go 100 miles an hour, and even if he's wrong by him going that fast, that tempo, he's going to destroy something, and he's going to be in the way. So I like the energy. I like the fact that we have a rangy guy back there that can go from sideline to sideline. He's a hitter. He's all the above. So, I just think that we're night and day at the safety position than where we were last year for sure.
Talking to Derek Stingley Sr. here on Off the Bench. Coach, what have you gathered from talking to those guys in the secondary about what receivers have been standing out for LSU?
Well, Kayshawn is always the guy.
Yeah.
But Malik Neighbors is the one that everyone keeps talking about. Like he has this crazy body control, and he has this, I'm not afraid of you, or you. Line up, let's play. That's his attitude, Malik. And sometimes you need something like that on that side of the ball. But he's been the guy that's been making some good plays. I know Brian Thomas been out there, been doing some good things. But the main ones that they've been talking about is Malik Neighbors for sure.
You got a young group of receivers that they're just fighting to get on the field. I love that. And I know you do as a coach. Like, you have that competition between great players as well. Because when you look at it, there's so many players that were like some of the best in the state, and they're all now at the same position. You've got Jack Bestow in there at tight end. He's competing to get on the field as well. That only makes the cream rise to the top.
And imagine that. It's like you only get you can only send 5 guys out.
Yep. Yeah.
And they have at least 15 guys, and they're all trying to get the opportunity to be one of those 5 out in pass patterns. And it's real competition. But it's friendly as well. What I mean by friendly is like those guys support one another on that side of the ball. But when they're out there going against those DBs in that defense, it's like almost a show. It's game day. It's like, hey, I'm out here to earn this spot, and I'm gonna have to take it from you if I have to, and that's what they're doing, man. I mean, it's building good competition on both sides, but in my opinion, I think the wide receivers they're coming with different energy than what they had last year for sure.
Coach, so much rides on next week against UCLA. How are you going to watch this Saturday's UCLA game? How are you taking it in?
Oh man, I'm already watching UCLA right now. I think they have one of the games on today against USC. Just checking out the receivers, the quarterback. You know, he runs the ball a lot. You know, and he's a threat. He's a real threat. They like to run weak a lot too. So that's another thing that I'm pretty sure Coach O and them already figured that out. But yeah, I'm all ears and eyes, watching everything, listening to everything about UCLA for sure until we get out there in Pasadena.
Coach Derek Stingley Sr., the man, the myth, back for another weekly with us here on OTB. Always giving us great information, great perspective as well. Coach Sting, thanks so much, man.
Guys, I'm glad to be back.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Football season, first day of football, Jake.
Thank you.
Here it is, dude.
Finally, you get it.
Let's go, dude.
You get it.
Down.
You started the show with bad vibes, but it's okay. I'm here.
When we get back, get your mailbag questions in. OTB mailbag. Jack Marucci coming up at 8:30. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
You see the sign right behind me. You see it every day. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Meaning, look, if you enjoy this show, one of the main reasons why we get to do this show is because of people like All-Star who sponsor this show, okay? And it's funny, though, because I think that most people assume that I'm always bragging on the murdered out Mini, you know, the Toyota Sienna or the Camry I'm leasing, not to brag. And it's like they think that I'm getting like these cars for free or something, right? That is actually not the case. I got these cars because I liked what they offered me and how perfectly they fit my life. And these were answers to questions that I had that I was very overwhelmed with at the beginning. But I went and I saw them at All-Star off the airline, and I let my guy, Richard Jones, be my kind of guide in the wilderness. And now I'm as happy with my car situation as I have ever been. And that's all thanks to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Check out the rentals as well, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com right there. If you need something a little bit different for a trip, they've got you covered. Again, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my four boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at patientplusuc.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
to the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out.
Hey, it's Cade Wazan inviting you to join me, Coach Todd Black, and Coach Jimmy Roy this Friday night for the Lake After Hours Lake Urgent Care Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. We'll be recapping area jamborees and catching up with some local coaches as well. It's this Friday night from 10 to midnight on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Hour number 2, OTB mailbag coming up right now. I'm going to try to, Danny, you didn't happen to, this is not on Danny because I normally do this, but you didn't happen to log any of these questions that people are asking, did you? What did you do? Did you copy paste anything?
Jeez. I'm not the host. Am I the host? No, you tell me all the time who the host is.
Thank you. As long as you recognize that, that's fine.
Do your hosting stuff.
So I have one of our friends texting me right now that works at the SEC office. By the way, did I miss something with the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12 alliance? Has that become more official now?
Today is supposed to be the announcement.
Okay, so the announcement is coming.
Yeah, I think Yahoo had that first, but that's supposed to be today.
So somebody's asking me, is the SEC, like, are they the evil empire for teaming up, and the SEC is Luke Skywalker and the Rebels, or is it the other way around?
I think they're teaming up against us, the SEC.
Yeah, obviously the SEC is the evil empire.
No.
Yes, and Saban is emperor. Nope. Yes, absolutely. I don't know who Vader is.
Nope.
Oh man, is there like a power struggle between Saban and Sankey? There can be only one, right? Both Sith lords who will reign supreme. But no, I'm sorry to say I love the SEC, but just enjoy it. Let's just be stormtroopers, right? Throw on the white armor, hang out, don't shoot very well. Like, just recognize the SEC. We are the baddies. We're not the good guys in this case.
Yeah, we are.
How so?
Texas and Oklahoma came to the SEC.
Yeah.
We didn't go to them.
Yeah.
We just accepted them.
Yeah.
They were in the wilderness, and we said, come join the best.
Oh, okay. We almost like absorbed them into our empire.
Right.
You would say. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Because the power represented by our empire was so overwhelming that it basically made more sense for them to join in the fight against
look, if you're into a pseudo conference game between Miami and Washington, a trip that would take you 48 hours to drive, that's on you. I'm just telling you, the SEC is still pretty regional outside of Missouri. I know Como's up there a little bit.
We are the empire. That's okay though, because unlike the Star Wars movies, I don't see Luke Skywalker walking through that door. Right? I mean, there ain't nobody blowing up this Death Star. All right, when we get, let's do a little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Great question by our guy Ricky Compton. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What is the last first day of football? I think there's an obvious answer.
Game day? Pre-game?
LSU UCLA pregame.
Yeah.
Last first day of football. Saints season, it's not going to feel the same the first weekend of the NFL that it will the first week of LSU football, because I think there's already been so much interest in this Saints preseason that it's actually already had a very beginning of the season sort of feel. Like we've already settled one of the main debates. So the last first day of football will be a week from Saturday. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Brent Semino saying there's a clear starter in New Orleans after last night. Yes? Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah,
He's the guy.
Yeah. Jameis is the guy, as we said. There's already a lot of evidence that said that. Last night was the emphatic final exclamation point on that conversation. Exactly what Jake wanted to see. Steve Miller, hashtag OTB mailbag. How do y'all plan on getting ready for 5 a.m. OTB on the Friday before kickoff?
Ooh, those cups will not be deep on Thursday night. They will be filled to the top.
I've done it on 4 a.m. back in the day. When I was on 6 to 9 in New Orleans, I did a show out in Cali, 4 to 7. Really weird feeling. Really weird feeling. Basically feels like you're working a graveyard shift, but it'll be straight. I mean, look,
I've done plenty of 6 a.m. shows, never a 5 a.m.
Our bodies will be used to it, though. It's not like we're going to do just a time in a day, so, it's going to be easy.
No, I'm just saying Thursday we've got to be careful.
The room has a big window from what I've seen, so you'll have a perspective of you guys doing a show, and I'm sure pitch black, and then the sun rising.
Oh, that's
a
be kind of
beautiful
cool,
setting
actually.
as the sun rises.
Okay, dude.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
If Danny's as good as I know he is, he'll have some great video.
Yeah, Danny, don't let us down.
Yeah, don't screw this up.
Hashtag OCB mailbag. Can we stop trying to make Taysom happen? Yes. Yeah, son. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Why do people still act disappointed in the 2020 offense when they were good all year long with 3 different QBs and mostly underclassmen? I respect Slinger.
Absolutely.
It's actually a pretty good point by Patrick. It's weird how quickly we become spoiled. 2 years ago,
oh my God,
you would have killed for the 2020 offense. It would have been more than your little tiger heart could have imagined.
But what, 4th over on the SEC?
Is that where it finished? Yeah. But after the heights of Joe Burrow, aka Football Jesus, well, everything starts to feel a little differently. I always say it. Last year's offense, their biggest crime was not they were bad. In fact, they were quite good considering the 3 quarterbacks and all the other adversity they had to deal with. Their biggest issue, though, in my opinion, was stagnation. In too many regards where areas were fixable, they just kept running it back. The main heightened example of that would just be the continued zone runs on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 when it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, and then when they go to the quarterback sneak formation that we saw them run many times, they converted 97% of them.
And that was that. But it took 6 games, right? It was just a little too slow to act, and it kind of and maybe this isn't fair to them because maybe this is just about having freshman quarterbacks shake, but it kind of did have the feeling of someone running someone else's offense or trying to do their best, like kind of Joe Brady imitation through that offense that they could. And that's my great hope for Pete is, well, yes, this could be the Brady system or whatever. I want Pete to be fully empowered to innovate and change things in any way that he sees fit. He is the OC. He has to do what he knows. The bottom line, I don't care how you do it, just engineer those matchups and accomplish the core ethos. Get the ball to playmakers in space.
I would love, and I know it's not going to happen, so we're talking about the same thing, running zone out of gun on the goal line, 1-yard situations. I would love to see Max just one time be in the gun and just quickly go under center and let the running back get in an eye and just ace formation and just hand it off just one time. Just hand it off one time.
I'll do you one better.
One time. Or even pistol. You can do pistol. I just want the running back to have the ability to get behind the quarterback and have a full north-south, not east-west.
Give me one power toss, at least. One power toss a game. Pulling guard.
See, I don't even need that. I don't need horn balls.
I
don't need that. That's fine. I mean, I love it. Brings a tear to a glass eye.
I was thinking 46, 47, but yeah, you want to run hobo. We can throw that thing in there, get the edge.
I mean, same thing.
I don't know if Liam Shanahan can pull the...
Helmsy could.
Helmsy could. Ben Wilkerson could pull.
Oh, absolutely.
I could pull easy mode, dude. I pulled all three positions. That was a beast at pulling.
Ben Wilkerson was pretty fun to run behind when I was a freshman.
Yeah, he was a legend. Nobody ran horn balls better.
We'd run just fullback belly, and I'm just going to watch him. Just whatever he does.
Has I go to be mailback for Jake? Is In-N-Out overrated?
I do not think it's overrated. Now, I don't hold it to the highest standard, but no, it's not overrated.
It's a good fast food burger.
Yeah. The burger's good. The shake's good. The fries are subpar.
Where does it rank? Did we do a tier list on In-N-Out, Danny? Do you remember where it ranked? Like, in terms of other I know we kind of messed up. The science was a little gray there in terms of what constitutes a fast food burger, but like, would you take In-N-Out or Whataburger?
I think we had
Whataburger.
Whataburger
Really?
above In-N-Out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The only, so here's the deal. If Whataburger had the service of Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, In-N-Out, it'd be the greatest fast food restaurant of all time. It's just it's real hit or miss how long that line's going to be and how long it's going to take you to get through said line. And if you're going to get all your food in your bag.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Are you mad about all the No Way Home? That's the new Spider-Man trailer teaser that came out last night. Are you mad about all the No Way Home leaks in regards to certain past actors of the franchise?
No, we knew it was coming anyway.
Yeah, no. I mean, would it be cool if there was some world in which you could somehow keep that under wraps and then you go to that movie and you're completely shocked? Sure. But it looks like it's such an integral part to the movie that what are you really keeping under wraps? Like, it's pretty out there. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Which is cooler? Sunrises on the East Coast or sunsets on the West Coast?
Sunsets on the West Coast.
Yeah, I think I've always preferred sunset over sunrise.
Well, wasn't the question sunsets on the east or sunrises on the west?
Danny,
is that what the question was?
No, Danny, I think you need to maybe do a little geographical work here. Sunrises in the east, sets in the west.
I'm asking what the question was.
I think I read the question. If they asked the question backwards, and my brain just fixed it for them. No, look, I like sunsets better than sunrises. Bottom line, it's the end of the day. Maybe you got like a great glass of wine. That beautiful orange is affected. Sunrises can be spectacular as well. But if it's like a work day or something, that means you still have your entire day ahead of you. We never see sunrises when we're in this cave anyway. So, yeah, give me sunsets all day long. All right, let's see if we got one more that we could finish with here that's decent. I'm seeing a lot of
That is pretty funny,
love.
though. We get here when it's dark, and we don't think anything of it. We walk outside.
No, there could be like storms. Like we never know. Whatever. We'll just end with this because I said we didn't run. Hashtag Ask the Bench. JB Nicholson asking which one of you jokesters runs the Not Matt Moscona parody account.
I really wish I knew.
I was about to say I got to give whoever does run that a lot of credit because I genuinely have no idea, and that is shocking to me. Like I knew Not Jim Hawthorne immediately. I knew basically every parody account that's ever existed. Immediately, but. Whoever runs Not Moscona's kept it under lock and key. So he's done a really good job.
It's something I've tried many times to figure out who's behind it. Can't figure it out. You're exactly right. Like the other parody accounts.
Dead to right.
Like Greg Stringfellow's
off the bat.
Yeah, I got that one.
Easy.
Don't know this one.
All right, when we get back here on Off the Bench, let's talk to our guy Jack Marucci.
Say, Jack.
Director of Player Innovation. We'll talk about kind of what we were trying to touch on with there as well. How do you get players' bodies ready for game day, especially when you're a bit dinged up like the Elshuk Tigers are currently? Jack Marucci coming up next. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Donaldson Glass and Body, DonaldsonGlassandBody.com, or DGB Auto works as well, DGBAuto.com. Find them on Facebook. Remember, you get in an accident, the insurance company cannot tell you where to go. The police cannot tell you who gets a tow. The answer to both is DG&B. Tires, wheels, brakes, glass repair, something as simple as an oil change. They are a literal one-stop shop. And the thing is, they've been at it for so long, 40 years, y'all, that like the only way you stand the test of time is if you're consistently maximizing customer satisfaction. And that's what they do at Donaldson Glass and Body.
DGB Auto is the place to go for anything. Like it doesn't matter how small, doesn't matter how big. Oil change, they got it. If you need a paint job, they've got it. If you need a windshield replacement, they've got it, right? And they specialize in all these things. They have all the newest technology to be able to be on top of the game, to give you that. And you pair that with the best customer service. That's why Donaldsonville Glass and Body is the only choice. DGBAuto.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, middle relief, and after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test.
Coming up on Tuesdays Off the Bench. Camp is over, game prep begins, and Coach O breaks it all down. I'll also recap Saints Jags with our guy Nick Underhill. Plus, a brand new OTB mailbag. Off the Bench, 7 to 10 a.m., 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. OT, not quite OT. Don't know why I said that. But right now, I am excited to talk to... that segue's not going to work. One of my favorite people in the world, Jack Marucci, formerly the head trainer of LSU. You probably know the name through Marucci Bets, also his baby. Now, though, the director of player innovation at LSU, always at the forefront of athletic science, and that is why we'll talk to him today. Jack, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us today.
Morning, guys. Appreciate you having us.
Okay, so
when I say us, I'm talking about our whole department here because I'm only as good as the people around me.
There you go.
So
that's right.
Appreciate it.
So Jack, let's start here. Camp technically just ended. Today is a competition Tuesday, but from a schedule or kind of mental standpoint view, you are now into game week, right? UCLA prep is here.
Right.
You are someone who is, like I said, always been at the fore of understanding, okay, how do you scientifically get the body ready to be at peak performance come game day? This is an LSU team right now that is a little banged up in some ways. So how do you adjust your kind of practice schedule, rest time? What do the next 2 weeks look like in order to make sure that these guys are ready to roll a week from Saturday in the Rose Bowl?
Well, I think one thing Coach O's always done well, and we've talked about it, he almost has decisions made before anyone really has to suggest anything. He's done such a good job about getting the team back, because there's a fine line. Obviously, as you know, in camp, there's a piece I always said you have to get uncomfortable to play the game. You have to have some of that where you just, it's the football, getting into the grind, as we call it. But the grind has to be regulated. The problem is if you stay in that grind too long, then it's harder to come back out and recover. So he's always had kind of the Midas touch to let the team recover. And look, the way people recover, is sleep. We've done a lot of studies on that. That's where the body actually recovers the best. It releases the growth hormone. It changes your mood. It changes your brain retention, everything. So that, and again, that's why the pods were part of the big thing that we put together. So he knows, to start taking that, pulling back on the reins and allowing the guys to start, to get into that recovery mode. But what we've done also, and I think he's tried even earlier, to get into that game week mode. And that's where you become more normalized, because that's how the players are going to have to play throughout the season. So the quicker you can get into that allows these guys to get more, as we say, normalized to the rigors of the season.
So, Jack, you mentioned sleep then, and we're talking about going and playing a game in the Rose Bowl where you're in a pretty vastly different time zone and it's at night and everything. How do you get the circadian rhythm? Like, do you do any sort of sleep adjustments to get this team ready to be ready for Saturday night?
Right. It'll be similar to probably when we went to Washington.
Yep. I was on that team, yeah. Remember.
Okay. So you remember we kind of tried to shift the clocks. Remember I believe we went a day early also.
Yep.
And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to leave, we'll prep, and we're going to leave on the Thursday. So that's going to put the team a little bit more in that time zone. So the more you can prepare in that time zone, prepare the team in that time zone, that's going to allow the guys, again, have more of get accustomed to that period. So there was actually a study done. Allison Barger, she's worked with the military. They looked at teams, the NFL teams that come over, I think from the West Coast to the East Coast, and there was a discrepancy on teams that came over and played at a certain time zone, because you brought it up, the circadian rhythm that you have. The body's probably the most prepared in the morning. We retain most information between 9 and 10:30 in the morning. That's when the brain is one of its. That's why some big universities have started classes at 9 o'clock. Then the circadian rhythm, you kind of take a dip around 1:30, 2:30, 3. Then you pick it back up around 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Oh wow!
And you'll see a lot of records broken at night. Swimming, Olympics. You see a lot of that's the study she did, but she did see a discrepancy on teams that come over. And I'd have to go back and look at the study. It might have been the East Coast teams had a leg up, or the West Coast teams had a leg up, because of the time that you played an afternoon game or a morning game. So there is a correlation between that. So that's what, coach is aware of that. So he's trying to prepare, just like we did when we played the University of Washington.
Jack is way smarter than we are, because I got lost in that. But you're exactly right, Jack. You got to break it down so many different angles. Hey, Jack, something I want you to break down for us, because we get the question a lot. If someone is in a gold jersey at practice, can you please explain what that means? We've tried to do it, but I think you're well qualified to do so.
Yeah, that means here's the advantage I think has always been good with us too, because coach, it depends on the coach's preference too. So if a coach, sometimes they want the players all in or all out, but we always felt like the more you can engage a player, to practice. They're going to get better faster. They're going to have an opportunity to mentally be locked into the game better. I think what it does, a gold, you may only have X amount of periods you can go. Gold may mean, it could mean different things. It may mean you can't have contact in some certain drills. So all that's predetermined before practice. So you have basically a recipe for, all right, he's going to go maybe period 1, 5, and 6. These are periods that, based off his injury, these are things that he can do. But what it does, it allows the player, again, to engage into practice. It mentally allows him to getting prepared, because all these guys, if you're in a gold, that means you're pretty darn close to being released into the to go full go. And look, again, it could vary, maybe several days. They may be in that gold. It may only be a day. But again, what is indicating that these guys aren't going to be all the way in full go, and they're going to be limited as the practice goes on.
Talking to Jack Marucci, Director of Performance Innovation for LSU. Jack, it's going to be a bit of a different football season for you. Normally head trainer, you're dealing with very immediate and kind of pressing on the field concerns. Now, what does your role in your department, you said your team, like what does your team's role look like during the year? How do you factor into the big picture?
What we've done, and so a good example is they were looking for some particular route. They were looking to look for a particular player to fit in a route that's pretty common. So what we had, we tested this summer. We tested the guys more in the actual routes. So we knew what their decels are, how they, decel, excel out of a route. So we have, instead of running the 40, you have an actual time that they run a route in, so we have the equipment to do that now. And so we had a particular player that was very efficient in that route. And so we were able to present that. Look, here's these routes. Because before the summer, we talked to Coach DJ about, okay, what are your top 5, 6 routes? Then what we're going to do, we're going to run them in multi-directions to see where they're the most efficient. Now we have a population of guys. This guy runs this route pretty darn well. This guy isn't quite as responsive to this route. So it's nice. It's kind of a cheat sheet. Now it lends you to say, all right, let's try this guy out here, because we have a lot of talented wide receivers now. And, that could take a lot of time trying to figure out all this and who's the most efficient here or who's the most efficient in maybe the get off in this particular route. Because now we can see how long these routes take to develop. And that's another thing that, Coach was talking about that. That may dictate, well, we didn't realize this route takes 3.1 seconds. This route takes, on average, 2.8. Maybe a quick slant's only 1.7. So now you can say, base it off of release times and how quick you want to get the ball out. So, and that's another big thing that we look at is I think one of the guys want us to look at, if we have when we had the sacks in practice, how deep was the quarterback on average? So maybe there's some things they can modify in that aspect. Or let's look at pass rush. Let's see how quick these guys, same thing, get to the average. Does it match up with our information that we tested these guys from what side they're coming off the ball, what kind of stance they're in, and kind of just, again, put these guys in where they're very, where their talents are, where their strengths are, what they do best. So, and again, it's just suggestions. And when the coaches have a question on something, we have enough film now. We have enough analytics to look at, and we create our own analytics per that to try to find some answers. So now we're working with a system. We're trying to get a system where we could use cameras to lock onto the player, and it will give us a little bit more accuracy on the speed of the players playing at. We could look at limb range of motion. So it's us, and I think the Jets are the other team in the NFL we're trying to get this system in place. So that'll even help us more so to look at route running and the efficiency in an actual game situation.
I mean, really fascinating stuff, trying to literally kind of math out and quantify real life and then use that like it's, like you said, some sort of cheat sheet for the coaches on the field. Fascinating stuff, Jack. As always, thank you so much. You have an excellent day.
You got it. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Jack.
Jack Marucci, Director of Player Performance Innovation, Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff there, dude. I guess what is kind of interesting about it, though, as he said, that is suggestions, so that will only be as useful as the coaches are willing to engage with it, right? And now you can't let it make all your decisions for you, but it should at least play some role in informing, or, if you're a decision point, like, okay, what you're valuing two guys in certain plays or combinations, maybe some of that information does push one guy across the finish line a bit. It'll be interesting to watch that continue to develop through the year.
Yeah, the coaches buying into that has been the biggest part. And Jack, if we have more time, I was going to ask him that. And he'll tell you the coaches are all in on this, and that's what helps them, because there's numbers, there's facts that they can say, hey, here's the data. And if the coach doesn't follow it, then it's all for naught. But if the coach follows it, then obviously it's a tool.
All right, when we get back, closing up hour 2, hour 3, I want to circle back around to the Saints a little bit. We also got ESPN's top 100 NFL players. We got Nick Underhill coming up. So we got a lot more to get to. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to
DraftKings.
Yes.
If you want to become your own GM, and not just a GM that has a team that he has for the full season, but every day you can be a new GM of a new team. When it comes to base,
my bad.
When it comes to
I said new gym.
Baseball, you can draft 10 players. You get a pitcher, you get 9 position players, and the next day, if you don't like that lineup, well, you draft 10 more players, 10 different players. If you want to, it's not only baseball, it is football, it's basketball, it's golf, it's soccer, and it's a lot of fun. Been having a lot of fun and a lot of winnings, let's call it like it is, on DraftKings. You should as well.
Not to brag there, but he has been. I've seen it. He's winning quite a bit. And that could be you as well. If you download DraftKings today, use the promo code Baton Rouge, all one word, promo code Baton Rouge. Free chances to win millions of dollars for week 1 of football. And so if your name is Jim, become the GM you've always wanted to be today. DraftKings.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Hunt and Hill. We're looking back on the Saints and Jags preseason game number 2. Of course, we're talking LSU and UCLA. Hunt and Hill, noon to 2 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Me and Chandler White just had a mind meld in the chat. Jake, how would you answer this question? Are you more impressed with Marquez Callaway last night or Jameis Winston?
Callaway.
Okay. I wanted so that's what we answered as well. I want to see if your reasoning is the same as ours.
What was your reasoning?
Well, I don't know. Let's hear your reasoning.
No, my reasoning is because he's done it against the ones. He's done it against back-to-back corners that have played really well in the NFL. He has shined when they said, hey, you're going to be the number one in today's game. He's made some circus catches. He's stretched the field. He's done all those things. And
yeah,
Jameis Winston has been in that situation before. Jameis Winston has thrown for 5,000 yards in an NFL season. He's thrown for over 30 touchdowns. He has been in those fires before. Callaway's never really been in that fire, has the number one receiver go-to option, and he thrives so far in that role.
Yeah, that was our exact logic as well, right? You've seen it from Jameis before. Yeah. Callaway's rise kind of continues to defy logic and how scouts viewed him coming out of college. And even though, look, he flashed a little bit last year, but it was like a tiny, tiny bit, right? It was like, okay, he's got potential, right? And you're thinking like, I don't know, maybe it's is this like a Lance Moore type guy or something? But he's starting to feel like maybe he could be more. Now,
I see what you did there. He could be Lance Moore.
Yeah. Triple mind meld, says Chandler White. There you go. Great minds think alike. Wrong. Great minds think for themselves. That was an old Disney campaign that I remember.
I questioned what he could be because even in college, and you were right. I mean, the quarterbacks he had Josh Dobbs for 1 year, but then he had Garantano, and it was all over the place. We've never really seen him thrive, and I didn't know, could he step up if he's asked to do so? And it's the preseason. It's 2 games, but so far he has. So it's all we have to go off of. Now, when the regular season comes and you're playing against the Green Bay Packers and they've got a pretty good corner and you're going against him every single play, we'll see how he's able to transition from a nice camp story to being the number one. You're exactly right. The game plan is surrounding around you if that is who they feel like is the number one receiver. So excited, not saying it is solidified by any means, but excited in the growth that we've seen so far.
We have video evidence. This comes from a Patriots press conference yesterday. I'm always kind of wrestling
video
back
evidence
and forth
in Patriots. That's interesting.
If I think that Bill Belichick is human, but we have evidence that Belichick is not only human, but that dogs are everybody just loves dogs. Here is
okay. Oh, I like that. I kinda like that.
That was kind of funny sounding. Okay, here is Bill Belichick though during his Patriot press conference.
I wanted to ask you what your impressions are so far of Henry Anderson.
It's like you got your buddy there. Can we have him ask the next question? Maybe we get Nike to answer it.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you what.
dude, I mean,
It hurt him.
I mean, how funny. Does anybody look more uncomfortable being kind of happy than Bill Belichick
Kind of
did?
happy.
Like, he felt so socially awkward, but it was kind of sweet in a way. It felt sincere. Like, he was like, he thought it was really funny.
Look at Nike.
Yeah, he was like really hyped to hear the dog bark and get Nike. Okay,
It's just another point that we don't prove. We don't deserve dogs.
Yeah, dogs
don't deserve their love.
Dogs are the best.
They even love Belichick.
Even making Bill Belichick human, dude. You'll
right.
love to see it. Hour 3, more Saints talk coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to
RejuveMeMedical.com.
Yes. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me, all your anti-aging needs. 10, 20, 30, 40. It don't matter, okay? The point is, no matter where you're at in your life, if you're not feeling like yourself, like how you used to feel back in the day, you don't got that energy waking up, you don't got that energy rolling into bed that you want, just kind of general disposition, some tough fat that you're struggling to lose. Rejuve Me can provide you with the answers to all of this. They got locations in Dennis Springs, Metairie, and Baton Rouge. No matter where you're at when you're listening, they got a place near you. And look, understand, this is not a one-size-fits-all deal, okay? They're going to go through a process in which they create a fully customized plan for you and your situation to get you back to who you truly want to be.
I'm actually going next week. I know football season's coming. I know what that means. I know what the workload means, right? So maybe you need a little bit more energy. Well, I'm going to check my labs next week. I'm going to get that consultation. You should get it as well. RejuveMeMedical.com, right there on the homepage, or just pick up the phone, call 225-230-42. Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit GarciaDidMyRoof.com.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, August 24th. Again, expect that heat index to be up to around 112 for portions of southeast Louisiana today. Heat index certainly quite high. As we roll along, if you missed anything from hour 1 or hour 2 of today's Off the Bench, like Coach Ed Ogeron from LSU, Derek Stingley Sr., as well as Jack Marucci. You can find it on demand at 1045ESPN.com or inside the free ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app. Coming up, we'll talk Saints with Nick Underhill. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube channel for new content daily. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, it's hour 3 of Off the Bench.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, y'all. What's going on? Think I did that?
Not really.
Flip the script. Ed O style.
Huh?
The book. Flip the script.
Yeah, but what'd you do that was different?
I didn't say yo. What's going on, y'all? I said, hey, y'all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
LSU looking to flip the script for a third time. They flipped it good in their national championship. Flipped it back into 5-5. We flip it back, baby. That's right. Flipping back a week from Saturday. I got to be honest. Have you caught this, Jake? Chat's been a little feisty today. It's been a little argumentative, even to the point where, like, there was an extreme 20-minute argument that took place about the price point of Five Guys and how much money goes into creating each burger and, like, Five Guys profit margins versus these other fast food places. We've argued. We got sucked into it. We were arguing about burgers during the break as well. The point is, there just seems to be a little general anxiety in the air. You think people are already getting a little pre-Rose Bowl jitters here a week and a half out? It just feels like everybody, it just feels a little on edge today in the chat. And even not necessarily in the room, because we started so happy to talk about the Saints and everything, and I want to talk more Saints this hour. But am I reading too much into this, or are you feeling any of this?
No, I think the UCLA stuff is fascinating because early on, and I think this happens anytime you have like a big opener. Like early on, you're like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah, it's UCLA.
Going to go out there. It's UCLA. They were 3-4 last year. And then, like, some of the national media starts to talk about UCLA and them having super seniors and them having a transfer running back from Michigan, and they have this dynamic quarterback. And it's like,
for me, it was the one score thing. When you see that's when I was.
They lost all their games by 15 combined points.
Yeah, that's when I was first like, oh, okay,
right. Because if you just look at the record, like 3-4.
Yeah, the 3-4 is garbage.
Colorado.
You figure you probably lost those games. You lost a couple at least, but like 20 or something like that. But no, I mean. You're 2 touchdowns away. Just whatever. This is a horrible logical fallacy. But in my scared, I'm like worried about everything suddenly blowing up in our face after last year, kind of PTSD kind of way. It's like, okay, well, this team was 2 touchdowns away from being undefeated, Jake. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, how good is UCLA? Are they actually like maybe going to be Pac-12 champs? Like that's kind of where.
And then they've got a game this week, and you don't. And I've tried to ask anybody I could, just try to get a general thought on where you kind of stand, having game film for LSU or knocking the rust off for UCLA. And it's kind of split like 50-50 and who thinks the advantage kind of goes to. But I think a lot of people are just anticipating watching UCLA against Hawaii to find out who they are, what they're going to be. And I think that's getting closer. So you start to have some I wouldn't say nervous, but you've got some nerves about it.
Yeah, and I think that's only going to increase as we continue to get closer. Okay, I want to talk about an article that came out on ESPN right now, and then we'll get some more Saints takes as well. But the ESPN just released the top 100 players for college football in 2021. Who do you think was number 1 on the list, Jake?
Number 1.
Mm-hmm, number 1. Who ESPN.com has is the number 1 player in all of college football.
Spencer Rattler.
That is right. Spencer Rattler. Do you agree with that?
No.
Okay. Who do you think should be number 1? I mean, do you have a clear number 1, or you just think that it's giving you just think from like a conceptual standpoint, it's giving Rattler more credit than he's arguably earned.
No, I think Rattler's a good player, but I still think there's a couple of things that I'd like to see from him. I don't think there is a true, clear number one this year. I just don't think that I can say, oh, he should be number one. All right, for sure. But you got to put someone on the list, and Spencer Rattler, to me, is a guy that's continuing to get better. The Oklahoma offense is, as we know, very quarterback-friendly. If you ask me if I'm drafting and I get to pick a quarterback from this year's college football ranks, I'm going Sam Howell from North Carolina.
Okay, he checks in at number 5.
Okay, so that doesn't surprise me. I think he's got the best pro potential, but it's not the biggest year for quarterback. Now, you got some question marks, and now that I pull it up, I see you've got him listed out here, like Matt Corral, number 18. Well, Matt Corral's got a lot of juice to him. I've also seen him throw, like 6 interceptions and have 5 turnovers as well against LSU. JT Daniels at 24. Okay, well, JT Daniels is someone we've seen play nice for half a season. What's he going to be for a full season? Bryce Young at 21 is erroneous to me. We have not seen him be a starter. Not to say he can't be 21 next year, but we've not seen him. To put him as the 21st best player in college football, I don't know that because I have not seen that.
It is interesting, though, because Rattler's really in the same vein to put him as number 1. Now, you've seen more from Rattler. Yeah, you've seen more from Rattler for sure, but even that season had some up and downs, but it ended very strong, obviously. So,
even DJ Uiagalelei has played more than Bryce Young. I mean, he started a couple of games and filled in nicely for Trevor Lawrence, which I think is going to be a huge positive for Clemson moving forward. And if they get past Georgia, their schedule is as soft as butter. So,
and you're seeing what that can do to you sometimes when you reach the NFL level. Trevor Lawrence continues to look very human when faced with these NFL defenses. Here's another. I guess we could just transition into Saints talk right now.
No, we got
kind of found our
way back. We're doing that later.
Okay, but
how are we going to transition to Saints talk? We're talking about college football players and where they're
because
ranked.
Clemson's soft. Trevor Lawrence played at Clemson. Was he overinflated because he played a soft schedule at Clemson? Now that we're seeing him on the NFL level against these good NFL defenses, he has consistently struggled. He did not deal well with the Saints pass rush last night. Coincidentally, the Saints defense has also looked really good against the ones, especially the pass rush. It's going to be a defensive team. Now, if Jameis can do enough, and then all of a sudden, Saints win the NFC South, it's not crazy to think they might beat Tom Brady and the Bucs. They can go back to the Super Bowl, ironically, after Breeze is done because the air yards are finally back and they're throwing deep balls again.
DJ Uiagalelei.
Derek Stingley Jr. is number 2 on this list.
That was Handy.
Yeah, that was
Do that again. I was there that day. Do it again.
DJ Uiagalelei.
It's Ungalale, but he almost had. That was the first time he ever tried it on air. That was pretty close.
I thought it was Uangalele.
Lale.
Okay, Lale. Okay, that actually makes sense with the spelling because there's no I in the first la. Anyway, Derek Stingley Jr. number 2 on this list. Of course he is. Big news earlier on the show that he will be playing guaranteed against UCLA. Kayvon Thibodeau, number 3 from Oregon, the pass rusher. He's going to have a massive year. Evan Neal, the offensive tackle from Alabama, number 4, which, of course, he is. He's the man that is number 1 on Bruce Feldman's freaks list, the guy that is doing like 5-foot box jumps into sprinter stances at 6'7" and 350 pounds. He's a scary individual.
Yeah, he is. And there's 10 Alabama players on this top 100.
10 Alabama players make up 10% of the top 100 list, a list that is choosing from, 130 different teams? So, yeah, if that doesn't give you an idea. Sam Howell at 5, Chris Olave, the wide receiver from Ohio State, at 6, Kyle Hamilton, All-American safety from Notre Dame, at 7. This was another interesting one in terms of guys getting bumped up from the first year. So in the same way that Spencer Rattler got a huge bump, how about Marvin Mims? This is a guy who played less than 25 snaps per game last year. Now, he was very effective in those snaps, 9 TDs, 610 yards, and 37 grabs, but number 8 on the top 100 list for a guy that played less than 25 snaps a game last year.
This is one of those years that when you look at it, not only in the SEC, and we talked about it at SEC Media Days, there's not a lot of returning veteran guys, especially at the quarterback position. Think about Media Days. There was no quarterbacks, and even some of the ones that were there, it's like, you ain't that tight, right? So it's it feels like that in college football. Spencer Rattler being number 1, Spencer's a nice player, but he's not clearly number 1. I mean, you can have some true debate here. In years past, in the preseason-wise, we've known, okay, well, this guy's going to be number 1, and this guy's going to be number 2. He's going to be a top 5 player. This year is so much unknown. Even at Alabama, Like, they're number one in the country right now. They're getting all the first place votes because of the benefit of the doubt. If this was any other team, losing their quarterback, losing yet again another offensive coordinator, losing 4 first-round receivers in the last 2 drafts, all the things we know. We know it to be true. Now, the defense returned some guys, but a lot of question marks. But because we've seen them do it before, it's like, you're not going to get me again. They're number one in the country, but they've got question marks. Clemson certainly has question marks with who they lost, not only Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, and others. I mean, up and down the college football rankings, there's quite, like Ohio State, who's your quarterback? Texas A&M, who's your quarterback? Georgia, are you finally going to, after 41 years, get to a national championship, right? And the first scrimmage for Georgia, they have more guys out than any other team in the country, and big-time guys. And they're going through an Eric Gilbert situation right now, right? Kirby thought he was going to be there on media day. Turns out he's not even with the team right now. The other tight end, Washington, well, he's hurt. He might not be playing in week 1 either. Well, that week 1 game's Clemson. There's so much unknown. It's really, when it's like this is when I enjoy it the most, because there's not they're going to dominate. They're going to cakewalk themselves to the college football playoff. Like, I think there's some intrigue because there's so much unknown. You don't have that clear number 1 favorite. I think Oklahoma would probably be the closest to that, because you have a nice team returning, and you get Gray, the running back from Tennessee, who was a really good player for them a year ago, and you're adding to that squad. So Oklahoma, to me, feels like the most complete team before we start the season.
You believe that?
But I was about to say, but as we've seen before, when they go against top-tier SEC talent, for the most part, well, that gets pretty equalized. So we'll see. I think they've added some nice pieces, and Oklahoma in the Big 12 has an easier path as far as week in and week out than some of the other teams.
This is going to make you happy. Speaking of, if anybody is going to upset the Big 12 and take Oklahoma, it would be Iowa State. Interestingly, Iowa State, more top 100 players than LSU. I want to say LSU had 2 on this list in Derek Stingley and Eli Ricks. No, they had 3. They had Keisha Butte, so I think they actually end up with the same as Iowa State.
But look, you're not going to get me saying that Iowa State has more talent than LSU, but Iowa State had a lot of guys that could be making money right now, been 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks that came back.
One of these guys, the number 9 player in the nation, this should make you very happy.
Running back
Breece Hall,
stud,
led the nation in carries and yards last year. He toted the rock 279 times, over 1,500 yards. How about this? Great stat for you, Jake. First FBS player to run for at least 75 yards and a touchdown in every single game since LaDainian Tomlinson in 2000. So how about that?
Love it.
Also the first unanimous All-American in Iowa State history. So shout out to him. Other notes here, A&M had 3 in the top 25 in the top 100. So the question is, with Alabama having 10, A&M having 5, look at all the rankings. Is it fair to say that where things stand today, that LSU is clearly the 3rd best team in the SEC West?
No, I'm not going to say clearly. I'm not giving Texas A&M that right now.
Okay.
I think it's between A&M and LSU, and they're certainly in the conversation. Both teams are. And again, if this was a normal team and we hadn't been fooled before, we'd be talking about who's the best team in the West, right? So it's up in the air right now. We're going to find out, I think, a lot in week 1 for the most part. Like even Texas A&M, who has a very winnable game, like they're going to a neutral site game. They got to play Colorado early in the season. Like, let's see how that plays out. Let's see what they do on the road with a new quarterback and against a team that they have way more talent in. But let's see how it plays out. Alabama gets Miami. Do we think they're going to win? Yeah, we do. I mean, it's 17.5 points for a reason. Let's see what De'Aaron King can do against Alabama. We know about LSU and UCLA. So the schedule sets up for us to find out some pretty good information on not only the West teams, but the East teams as well.
Can't wait. So close. When we get back, let's talk a little Saints as we get to just some other bullet points from last night's preseason game to hit to set up the Nick Underhill interview at 9:30. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to therelaxationcompany.org. Therelaxationcompany.org, the hottest new massage place in town at their Pelican Point in Gonzales. And look, it's not just massage. You go to the website, you can see the full list of services that they offer. It's many. It's a plethora of services.
Plethora.
They got a new cryo machine, Jake. You got some belly tire or something you're trying to get rid of. 5 cryo treatments. You can take 2 inches off your waist. How about that? But look, maybe you just want a chill massage while supporting a local family-owned business and treating yourself. The Relaxation Company Pelican Point is for you.
Yeah, so many different benefits you can get from having a massage, right? You can reduce your stress, which we all look to do that. Improve circulation, reduced muscle tension, right? A little tight. Shoulders a little tight. We'll get rid of that. Of course, relaxation. It's right there in the name, The Relaxation Company. Check them out on Instagram. They always have specials and updates there. TRC Massage is the handle. TheRelaxationCompany.org is the site. TheRelaxationCompany.org.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit garciadidmyroof.com.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Introducing Vizzy Lemonade, the only lemonade hard seltzer with antioxidant vitamin C. It just hits different. All new Vizzy Lemonade. Step up your seltzer game.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside, off the bench, middle, relief, and after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there.
Coming up on a Tuesday edition of Early Line, we recap the Saints preseason game against the Jaguars, look at some lines for Week 0 in college football, and a whole lot more. Join us for Early Line, 2 to 3 p.m., right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Jake, you weren't there for the burger tier list?
I wasn't there for the awful burger tier list.
Why is it so awful?
You got Burger King in the A, and you got Freddy's down in the D, Shake Shack in the D.
Burger King's a great fast food burger.
That's awful.
That's flame
That's
broiled.
the worst one y'all have ever done.
What is Freddy's?
It's terrible.
What is Freddy's?
Thin patties. It started like in the Midwest. It's now in Baton Rouge. They have one right there, O'Neill.
Yeah, that's when I think of burgers,
good.
that's what I want, are like little paper thin meats.
That's double patty. Thin meat.
Yeah, 2 patties that equal 1. Give me
Dude,
2 thick boys.
You're crazy. Burger King, That's the worst list I've ever. Sonic.
Well, see, this is a bit more advanced than what you're recognizing here because you have to take into account that like some of these are more sit-down places, some of them are true drive-through.
Get that out.
And so you kind of like Burger King, while it is true drive-through, gets a bump up because
what?
Because the burgers are really good, but it's also like true drive-through. So like you're
Freddy's
just going
is a
to pick 'em up.
drive-through. I don't know. You don't even know. Like you put Shake Shack down in the D, you've never had it before.
Yeah, it's true.
It's fantastic.
Shake Shack is. I don't think it belongs in the D.
Oh, Danny, where were you that day then?
I was there.
You had nothing to do with this list?
I was there.
Oh, so how'd Shake Shack end up in the D if you feel so passionately about it?
Who did this?
I was outvoted. It
Uh-huh.
was Musso, me, and T-Bot. I'm pretty sure
My
that was it.
God. Thank God I came to change those tier lists. Jesus.
This one blew up on Twitter, though. But Burger King was by far the most hated pick on this whole list.
Yeah, the only thing good there is that like long chicken sandwich.
Ugh.
With mayonnaise.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know about that.
It's literally, first off, yeah, that thing's not good.
No, it's good.
It's literally called Burger King, as in the king of burgers.
It's not the king of burgers, though. That's my whole point, is the best thing on that menu, which none of it's really that good, is a chicken sandwich.
No.
Get out of here.
We don't even have this conversation. You don't like a Whopper?
No.
What?
A Whopper?
Yeah, what do you mean?
That was the argument for Burger King being that high. Was y'all were saying the Whopper was like elite.
Whopper's a great burger. Have you never had a Whopper?
Yeah, of course I've had a Whopper.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, how you talk about it, I couldn't think that you've hit.
I don't put things on tier lists that I've not tried or seen, unlike you.
Wow. I get all the blame for the tier list when I'm surrounded by cowards that don't want to.
I wasn't here.
Ever.
I was
tier
not
it
on the
up.
show yet.
They used to have a breakfast sandwich called the Eggnormous when I was in college. It was quite thick.
Look, bro.
It'll put you to sleep.
That Burger King double croissant wedge, double sausage ain't no joke either. If we're talking just breakfast Sammys, very good. But another one that is just like a gut bomb you might need to take a little nap so your heart can kind of digest it a little bit.
Bomb?
Yeah, just one of those things where it feels like you're just tired. Look at this. Colton Mack, Burger King is fire. Pay no attention to any other chat in the comment because Colton gets it. How about this? I am appreciating your live sound effect production today, Kate. Thank you.
You read the one comment that
No,
said it was good. There's John says trash. Greg says how is BK A tier?
No.
Paul says BK is terrible. Bo says Burger King couldn't even be the jester in my court.
Yeah.
But yeah, you keep reading the one comment that was good.
Oh wow. Craig Granger says Burger King tastes like plastic. No, I read look, I've been in this chat for years now. And I know Colton, and I know that he is the smartest one in here. And so that's why I highlighted his opinion. And he agrees with me. So, seems pretty smart to me. Okay.
Maybe we do a redo, potentially.
Look, there's a lot of science that we could revisit. The lefty list was horrible last week. This is an odd mixture of quasi-fast food and fast food places that makes it very hard to understand. It makes sense in my brain, but I can't really always articulate how we are weighting these things. So potentially, yes, we could revisit a burger tier list at some point. Other Saints stuff that stood out to me last night. Jake, running back's an interesting position to watch right now for New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, look, obviously Alvin Kamara is Alvin Kamara. He's the man. He should be a top 10 player in the NFL. He's going to be the main focus of your offense. Is Latavius Murray... I mean, what do you think, Danny? Or how are you? Do you feel like Latavius Murray should still be the backup running back for the Saints team? I mean, you got Tony Jones coming on. I mean, Freeman didn't look good game one. He looked all right last night, but like Latavius Murray has really struggled in this preseason.
Yeah, he has struggled for sure, but I still like the way he runs, like his physicality compared to Alvin Kamara. So I like that 1-2 duo the best. I still put him at number 2 on the roster.
It's just something to keep an eye on. I agree with you that Latavius Murray's done enough over the years where, like, you don't want to make too much of these two games, but he did struggle a bit. Other things. Is Ken Crawley a legit CB2? He's been the best. He's been really good during all of camp. Now, we didn't know if that was just because of the receivers that he's going against, right? You're going against, like, whatever. We all know about the same receiving core. But Crawley has been shut down throughout camp. He had another really good preseason game last night. Paulson Debo, the rookie, did as well, but not as good as Crawley. What do you think, Jake? Can Crawley be a true CB2 in the NFL?
It feels like he's going to start there until you can get the rookie to kind of catch up to speed and continue to grow his game, which is okay. Like, it's a 6-year vet. He's a veteran in the NFL. You don't stick around 6 years for not being able to know how to play football, right? Okay, so if he starts the season there and then you've got the rookie come and take that job, I think that's the ideal situation for the Saints, because Brian Poole, I think, makes his team, but he's more of an inside guy. He's going to be a nickel. He is not going to be someone that lives on the outside. So I think it's okay. You have this guy knowing that you have a rookie that probably would have been a higher pick if he would have played a year ago. Yes, he was a third-round pick, but I told you the other day, third-round pick, you're expected at some point in your rookie year to be a starter. So that's the ideal situation for the Saints. Just hold on long enough, and the Saints have enough safeties where they can get creative, right? If it becomes a problem, they can do some things in coverage to be able to try to help out whichever corner is in that cornerback 2 spot.
I think other defensive things that I noticed, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson obviously continues to play great. He's just all over the place. The one concern with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson would be the new taunting rules. It just feels like that is like directly aimed at him like a sniper rifle. And so if he can avoid those and still he just gets better and better, it feels like every year. So far, too, Jake, this preseason, no one has had an answer for the Marcus Davenport bull rush.
No.
I mean, that thing is powerful, and you know it's coming. Like, he's not really busting out too many other moves. Now, eventually, as he expands the repertoire, then he becomes real dangerous because, like, how do you account for it? But he's just so big and strong and fast that, like, even if you know what's coming, you still really struggle to stop it.
I hate it when I knew a bull rush was coming and there was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
Like in certain situations, because you can't live cutting a guy. You start cutting guys like that, and it becomes something that becomes a habit, and it becomes a tendency on film. Guys are going to play the cut, and they're elite at it.
And then you get beat really bad.
Right? So you have to stay up more than you throw. And as an offensive lineman, you can't really throw anyways. Coaches hate for you to do that. Like, I was able to do it because I was a fullback, right? I'm going against a guy like Davenport. So it can still be a weapon. Like, he can still use it. Now, you'd love for him to have a secondary move. I don't know what that move's going to be. And he's been so dominant with the bull rush that everything can be set up off that. Because typically you have these edge rushers, they have the other moves, they don't have the bull rush. So the fact that he does have it, he can show that strength, I think is an added plus. But eventually you'll have to come up with something else. But, man, he might not have the sack numbers, but he's been disruptive in the preseason.
Yeah.
He's gotten hits on the quarterback. He's hurried the quarterback, which if Cam's on his game and he continues to get back to what we know Cam to be, well, if the quarterback's pressured and he's hurried and he's got to get away from Davenport, he's going right into the rush of Cam Jordan. So this tandem could be one that we were hoping before the season played out well, but it has played out well so far in the preseason.
Yeah, and I still wonder if Tano Passanio's got anything in there. Carl Granderson had a really nice spin move last night. Like, I feel like Granderson's a guy that could flash for like 4 sacks, 5 sacks during the season potentially, which would be really good for him. The bottom line is that the more and more I look at this defense, and you look at how they've answered the questions at will linebacker, right? Certainly interior defensive line would be maybe where some questions remain, but like Marcus Williams is a great safety. Marshawn Lattimore is a great corner. If King Crawley can be a legitimate CB2, doesn't have to be great, just not bad, right? If he can be like an average CB2, you have a defense with this pass rush and this D-line, which against the ones the last 2 games. Now, granted, you're facing Trace McSorley in the Ravens and then Lawrence in the Jags. So this is all a bit discolored, and you're not game playing or anything. But at the end of the day, it's like any of these performances we're breaking down in preseason. You can only do what you can with the opportunity presented you, and the defense has been dominant. And so maybe this is a Saints team that is actually built on that side of the ball, and then Jameis and the offense has to supplement and do enough and kind of like the defense can be dominant early on, and the offense can kind of find its way throughout the season where you can figure out, okay, is Callaway legitimate? How is Jameis going to be? Has he truly kind of brought it under control? And then Thomas returns, and he adds to the mix. So, okay, I'm kind of like what I see it through 2 preseason games.
What's your biggest
I know we were
question?
like flirting with rebuild a little bit. I'm not there anymore.
Well, it's somewhere in the middle. What's your biggest question mark still? Is it the corner position?
It's without Lattimore. If Lattimore's out, yes. If Lattimore's
and they said they've gotten no word that he's going to have a suspension,
which is still just so weird to me. But if Lattimore's in, no, I'm not horribly worried about it because you at least still know you have a number 1 guy. Like, I don't think, regardless of what King Crawley will be, I don't think he's going to be like Brandon Brown or bad, right? I don't think it's going to be like so bad where it's just this black hole that just ruins the entirety of the defense. Yeah. Or like Jason David bad. I don't think that's the case. So my biggest question mark is still just want to see the offense prove it in a regular season setting. But already last night, you're starting to feel the effect that a good offensive line can have too. If you look at how it helped out Jameis going behind that one offensive line. All right, when we get back, let's ask all these questions and more to our guy Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to AccuTempBR.com today, AccuTempBR.com. All your AC, heating, and electrical needs right there under one roof. And they'll come out under your roof, and you'll experience customer service like you've never gotten before. Setting up a time, so easy, y'all. And then once they come out and they fix your issue, whatever the case may be, you're in the system. So, like, let's say you just needed some little small maintenance, and okay, they take care of it. You're like, man, that was really easy, really simple, and now I feel better, right? 6 months later, they call you, like, you need to come check it out. You're like, whoa, everything's running fine. Now, how much is this going to cost? It doesn't cost anything. Okay, they just come out, check it out for free. Make sure you're good to go. You're avoiding the catastrophic, super expensive repairs because the bottom line is they just care about you, the customer.
Let me go ahead and read this real quick. Online. Very pleased with the service. Friendly professional explained the product in detail to my son so he could help me with my decision making. I'm very confident in making a good decision now. That's what you're going to get from AccuTemp, AccuTempBR.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We're recapping Saints-Jags Monday Night Football from the Dome. Matt Flynn joins us. Hopefully you will as well. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. Weekly New Orleans Saints updates with Nick Underhill on OTB are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette.
Right now, we are talking to the man, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football, my favorite Saints site. Go ahead and sign up. Again, anytime you sign up, remember, your support goes directly to Nick to allowing him to continue to bring you the excellent journalism that he does in regards to New Orleans Saints. He's got bangers of articles going up every single day. Nick, a pretty exciting night last night for Saints fans and anybody who follows this team. In your opinion, was the quarterback question answered emphatically last night?
I don't think you could have possibly any other take except that it was emphatically answered last night. I mean, I thought the performance by Jameis Winston is about as good as it possibly could have been. I mean, he missed one throw. It was on 3rd and 16, passed to the flat, didn't try to force it down the field. So even though the execution wasn't there on the one miss, the decision I think was really good. And those are the decisions that you want to see from him. And those are the situations where you want to see Jameis Winston just take a step back, live for the next set of downs, and not try to do too much. So I think that miss, there was even a positive within it. But man, the things he's able to do out there, the way he reads coverage, just some of the high level quarterbacking stuff that he does. And I don't mean this is a knock on Taysom Hill or anything. I just think there's things that Jameis can do as a 7-year, 8-year veteran in the NFL that Taysom just can't do yet because he doesn't have the experience in the reps. And, Jameis is just there. I mean, and you see a guy that looks like he's starting to put it together. I think as the season goes on, he's going to have to continue to prove that it's, good Jameis and not bad Jameis with the decision making. But as far as all the signs right now, I mean, day after day, and you look at every practice. I mean, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 throws that I've seen him make during practice where I'm kind of like, what are you doing? And in a typical training camp, you'll see those decisions from Drew Brees, and I covered Tom Brady for a while. There'd be a handful of plays where you'd be like, what's Tom doing on that play? So I mean, 3 is a very small number. He's day after day answered the bell, and I thought last night, I mean. Look, I mean, you guys have been in locker rooms, and I'll ask you, like, you see a guy perform at the starter, like, what are people in the locker room, how do you react to that? I mean, I just don't know how they can go a different direction.
Talking Nick Underhill here, New Orleans Football. Yeah, I mean, it like, he did better with the 2s, he did better with the 1s, he had slightly better practice numbers, he already had the lead coming into camp. Yeah, the competition was real, the competition is over. But interestingly, it's also kind of expected with Winston, right? The biggest unexpected story of this camp has to be Marquez Callaway. I know that y'all keep telling us that he's doing very well in practice, but it's one thing to hear that, especially during preseason camp. And then it's another thing to see him out there beating number 1 cornerbacks for these big plays and making just incredible catches. I mean, where's your head at in terms of kind of the potential of Callaway?
I think he can be really good. And look, when Mike Thomas comes back, I mean, if you don't think Marquez Callaway can't be a extremely good number 2 wide receiver next to Mike Thomas and making this a pretty good group, I mean, we just kind of have fundamentally different views of football because I don't see how you could have a different takeaway than that. I mean, look, can he carry the load at number 1 all season long? I mean, I don't know that yet. That's something that we'll see tested early in the season, like going against Stephon Gilmore, Jair Alexander, James Bradbury. I mean, I think those are going to be telling tests for him. But even if, those games aren't the greatest for him, I mean, by the time Mike comes back, he's at number 2. Mike's drawing that coverage. And I think Callaway can definitely, exploit some of that stuff against number 2 cornerbacks or games where he's not game planned against necessarily. But look, I mean, the things he's doing are outstanding. I mean, the 2 catches yesterday were, as good as it gets, as good as those throws were. I mean, they both required like a high level effort from the wide receiver just to locate the ball and contort himself into a position where he can make the catch, especially the first one. I mean, that was unbelievable that he was able to pull that ball in. But yeah, I mean, look, he hasn't even played, like, he's had one-handed catch in practice, and then he comes out and he does this crazy stuff in the games, and it's next level. And coming out of Tennessee, he was, I think, the leader in the SEC in yards per reception his last season there. So yeah. I mean, it was kind of known that he had the ability to get downfield and do a little bit more. And then, last year with Breeds, it was kind of limited to, 8-yard curl routes. And now that they can open up a little bit, he's able to show more of that stuff. And look, I mean, that's the other thing in this game with him being able to do that. Jameis able to get the ball down the field like that. I mean, it just opens everything up. And I think it allows you to be a little bit less precise everywhere on the field when they have to defend the whole field instead of just, the first 15 yards. And that's what made Brees a Hall of Famer is that, early in his career, well, really until 4 years ago, he could get the ball down the field like that. And, his efficiency underneath was next level good. I mean, most accurate passer of all time. Jameis isn't going to be that, but the fact that he can take the top off, safety's got to sit back. They can't line up at 13, 15-yard steps. I think it's going to make things a lot easier for everyone. So Callaway does that. Now Mike comes back. He has more room on the slants and crossing routes. I think the offense has a chance to be a little bit more explosive.
Nick, last week we were talking about running backs, and you had some underwhelming performances from some veteran running backs. And this week, kind of the same thing. Freeman averages 2.6 a carry. Murray is 1.5. But Tony Jones Jr., another solid day, averages almost 5 yards a carry. He got a lot of run in the game. I think he's solidified himself as an option at running back for the Saints. Could he play his way maybe into RB2 for this team?
He's running like he wants to be RB2, and I think he's doing everything to make that case. I thought some of the stuff about Latavius was a little premature last week. People were starting to put him on the bubble and everything. I still don't know if he's someone that gets cut, but I mean, I think that he's starting to look like he's in danger of losing some snaps. I don't know how you can watch it and not think that. I mean, Jones looks more explosive. His vision is really showing up week after. And for Murray, it isn't. And, even on that screen pass, I thought he cut it inside when he should have went outside. He had Cesar Ruiz and Andrew Speed on the outside of the tackle on that side of the field and should have went up the sideline, and he just left a lot of yardage on the field. So, I mean, if he's making those kind of mistakes and, he just hasn't looked quite as explosive as he has previously. Tony Jones going the way he's going, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that there's a real chance that he could be the number 2 running back this season. I mean, I think he's making as strong as a case as he can make. And, this is a team that really doesn't, care about who you are or where you came from once somebody's playing better. They usually go with that guy. And it just looks like Tony Jones is playing a little bit better than him. And then him being up in that top group in this game, I mean, he clearly climbed the depth chart last week, and then he showed what he could do against the Jags' number 1 defense. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely in the mix for that RB2 spot.
All right, Nick, speaking of number 1 defense, one of the most impressive parts about this preseason for the Saints has been the number 1 defense. Now, look, they weren't playing the best offenses, obviously, so I don't know exactly what to make of it. But, I mean, King Crawley has felt solid. Adebo's played nicely, so some of your question marks there. And then the pass rush, I mean, the Marcus Davenport bull rush has been all but unstoppable. How are you feeling about how the Saints defense is rounding into shape here?
Each week I feel a little bit better about them. I mean, I think a lot of the concerns are on that side just because that group, I think we all agree, has to stay strong to kind of, in case that there's some deterioration on offense, they got to make sure points are getting on the board. The way Ken Crawley's played all camp, I mean, I think there's some hesitancy. There's definitely some hesitancy with me to go all the way there and kind of say, hey, they're all right. But the way he's played in camp, it feels like, hey, they're all right. I mean, he's showing up every day, breaks up passes, it seems like every single day in practice. And again, I mean, the level of competition has to be kept in context. The Saints, they don't have a bunch of Mike Thomases out there. And neither do the Jaguars, but you can only guard who's in front of you, and he's doing, exactly what I think he needs to do. He's getting his head around, seeing the ball, getting his hands on it. That's been the huge issue with him going all the way back to when he was at Colorado. It was his fall location. And he's doing that, it seems like, with confidence routinely. And, I think if he can keep that up, you kind of grip on and hope for the best. And right now it kind of feels like Crawley might have a chance of getting back to that 2017 form, maybe even a little bit better. And, I'm just afraid to go all the way there, just based on kind of how his 2018 season went in the years after. But I mean, he's playing outstanding. You mentioned Davenport. I think he's at that point again. He's another guy that I'm always afraid to buy in on. But like he's played so well, I'm ready to just look like an idiot and just buy all the way back in because there's just no other way to look at him and think that he's not going to do what he needs to do this year every day. these games, he's dominating them. You mentioned the bull rush. I mean, it's unstoppable. He pulled out a spin move in this game that I'm not really sure I've seen him use before. So there's growth as a pass rusher. You know, I think he's kind of figured out the key for him to be what he needs to be. And, you know, overall, I think all levels of the defense, I mean, your questions are getting answered. Linebackers look really good. You know, I still have questions about the interior rush. I haven't seen Jalen Dalton do in games kind of what he's done in practice. But Christian Ringo, I thought had, you know, I'll have to check because I haven't rewatched the game yet. But I had him, I think, with 4 pressures last night.
Okay, wow.
During the game. So he's getting after the quarterback. He got after the quarterback in the first game. So there's some options there. I mean, it's just, you know, that Onyemata hole for 6 games, but the way things have gone this preseason, I think you feel a little bit better about getting to the other side of that just because everybody else around that spot has played so well.
Like, for anybody out there, because a lot of people think maybe we're being too optimistic here, but the bottom line is, it's not to say that any expectation, anything have greatly changed, but I think it would be impossible not to feel better about this team after what you saw last night in a couple of preseason games, given the questions that you needed answer. Nick, where can everybody find your work? What's going up in New Orleans on football?
We'll have the film study today, breaking everything down, position by position, player by player, and then just everything throughout the week as they round into shape. You know, hopefully there's a quarterback decision this week, and Peyton doesn't try to hide it until the first game. But, you know, I kind of feel like they have to show their hand in practice because you kind of got to start rolling with one guy. So we'll have practice reports and you know, just everything going on with the team, New Orleans style football.
There you go, New Orleans football, my favorite thing tight out there. Nick, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Go follow Nick at Nick_Underhill. Yeah, I mean, that's my takeaway, right? It's not to say this team's going to win the NFC South or any jokes we've been making, but, like, I feel better, right? I feel better than I did previously because you've seen some guys step up. All right, let's close out the show with Ask the Bench, brought to you by Coors Light next here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Look, if you are looking to rent, you can actually rent from All Star. It's cheaper than your traditional rental companies. They got a great selection. You can try out the minivan before you decide to join me in purchasing a minivan and join the MVG. That's the minivan gang. It's an exclusive club of alpha males that are all about function and form, because that's what you get with a Toyota Sienna. Look, maybe you're looking to sell your vehicle, okay? All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge wants to buy. So the market's incredible right now. You'll never get better value. You can turn right back around, and you can join the MVG, or you can get like a Tundra or something along those lines as well.
Or if you're looking for a hybrid, they've got the Prius, the Avalon.
Do you love
They've
Prius?
got that in a hybrid as well. The Camry, that's got a hybrid. The Highlander, you know what that has? A hybrid. The RAV4, you know what that has? A hybrid. So, look, so many different options over at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Check it out online. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back North Airway off of Airline Highway.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering.
Join me, Jimmy Ott, and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee, just off of Nicholson. Game Time, 6 to 8 p.m. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Los the Scout. Let's go, Kate. Hashtag Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moonlight Sky Citrus Wheat. Trent Ritchie, hashtag Ask the Bench, best restaurant you've ever gotten a steak from. I don't know that I was thinking about this. I don't think I have an individual steak that stands out in my life, actually. I think most nice steakhouses give you damn good steaks.
I mean, I think that's a fair take, that if you go to a nice steakhouse, they're going to bring you something that you enjoy. My favorite spot was Lou and Mickey's in downtown San Diego. It was a steakhouse, but it had a cool vibe because it was right next to Petco Park. And so it wasn't stuffy, like a stuffy steakhouse. It was a cool, nice place to go get a nice steak and then go to the ball game. Lou and Mickey's for me. I'd eat there every day.
James Fortenberry, hashtag Ask the Bench. Are the Arizona Cardinals pretenders or contenders? Danny, you got an answer?
I was going to say Sol Bay's restaurant in Miami. Best steak I ever had.
Okay, well, apparently you got to go out of steak for a good steak. Out of steak.
Oh, my God.
Are the Arizona Cardinals pretenders or contenders? They are pretenders. Not even because it's much about them as it is just the NFC West.
They're contenders.
Wow. Okay.
We talked about this already.
No, they're not. Not in that NFC West, dude. There's no chance. Hashtag Ask the Bench. You guys need to check out.
Speaking in absolutes on that one?
Do you realize you just did a Star Wars reference?
No.
Yeah, only a Sith deals in absolutes. Yes, I absolutely, unfortunately, don't think the Cardinals have a chance in their division. Which time will tell. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Does T-Bob even know what a burger is? Oh, my God, dude.
He also doesn't know what a good chicken sandwich is.
No, Chick-fil-A is awesome, dude. I grew up in Atlanta. I love Chick-fil-A, okay? I had Chick-fil-A every day of my life for a long time. Popeyes is an objectively, if both are achieved at their max potential.
Popeyes is in Atlanta now as well. That's where its headquarters is.
I know, which is so disappointing. Don't get me started. It's like Smoothie King leaving the state as well. Screw them. Chick-fil-A more consistent, but if both sandwiches are at their peak, I mean, it's not even particularly close. The Popeye sandwich significantly better.
We'll see in our tier list.
We need 10 more likes. 10 more likes to get to 100 to make that happen. Hashtag Ask the Bench. What are y'all ordering from Wiener Schnitzel at 2 in the morning? Dogs.
If it's 2 in the morning and you're at Wiener Schnitzel, you just want something to soak it up.
Yeah, you could be buying drugs as well. Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. I want.
One of our bosses is in here. My gosh.
Well, I mean, what are you doing at 2 in the morning? Look, I think you're getting some delicious dogs.
You're in an Uber because you're not driving. Because you're deep in your cup and
nothing
you're rolling
good
the window
happens
down.
after 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Hashtag Ask the
Coach
Bench.
Saban quote there.
What are some things to do in LA for us traveling there?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, there's
out.
take your whatever you really want, I guess.
There's going to be a lot to do.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Does anyone order the chicken sandwich from Cane's? I don't think I've had the chicken sandwich from Cane's.
You can make your own chicken sandwich from
Oh,
Cane's
really?
with
Oh,
the
like
toast.
with the toast. Yeah,
Well, then
that's
they have
delicious.
one, but make your own with toast, coleslaw, chicken, fries, sauce in the middle. It is a game changer.
All right, you'll have an excellent day. We will be back tomorrow. OTB.
OTB. OT.
Go to DraftKings. That's right. Download DraftKings today if you want a free chance to win millions of dollars worth of prizes. You download DraftKings. It's live in Louisiana now. Daily fantasy. Finally, after all of these years, you download it today. Use the promo code Baton Rouge when you sign up. So promo code Baton Rouge, all one word. You get free chances to win millions of dollars of the prizes. Jake is already cleaning up. You should as well.
So there's different types of games as well. Obviously, there's baseball, there's football, soccer, basketball, but also within that sport, you can have a classic lineup, which is a 10-player lineup in baseball. You can have a showdown captain mode, which you choose between one game. You have a captain who gets extra points. You have tiers, and you pick each player from that tier. Speaking of tier list, they have a snake draft you can do on there, a snake showdown you can do on there. So many different options with different sports. Check it out. Download the DraftKings app today in the App Store.
There it is, the extra mile on the board.